hallucinating, or did the Kings actually win again? They beat the Mavericks, right? That really happened.
They did, and
it was kind of like the Mavericks. Some of them were Mavericks, some of them were...
Najee Marshall was Jordan, so he was literally Luka. Literally.
Clay played a little bit, 130 to 121, so the Kings have won 2 out of their last 3 games. It's making me nervous, I must confess. I know people don't like to hear about that, but it's making me a little bit nervous. Too many wins.
Yeah, and I think this was probably the most confused we've seen the Kings fan base in about 2 weeks, because it felt like everybody was on the same page. Hey, when the vets play and they win, that's bad. When the young guys play and they win, what are you going to do? It is what it is. Last night, I had people calling me all types of names. And
why?
Because we were happy. And I think this was the weird middle ground where, the words, what are we actually talking about here? If you're literally going to comment on somebody's post or whatever, or your thought process is you need to sit Precious Achiuwa, you need to evaluate your fandom. Because it's one thing when we're talking about Russ and DeMar. DeMar, I don't even know if he took 10 shots. DeMar? Yeah. 3 shots.
Yes.
He took 3 shots. So if this was DeMar, we'd all be on the same page. Russell Westbrook didn't even play. But when you start talking about, hey, we got to sit Precious Achiuwa, who was arguably close to out the league, right? At 26, 27 years old. And he's red hot doing his thing.
Wait, people were saying they needed to sit Precious Achiuwa?
Because he was playing so well.
Oh, okay.
They also said the same thing about Daquan Plowden. So now, since you cannot blame DeMar and Westbrook, now everybody was mad at 26-year-old Precious Achiuwa and 27-year-old Daquan Plowden. And
not because they were taking minutes away from other players, but because they were doing too much to help the Kings
or
win.
Just playing at all, I guess, at that point. And there's a certain line. And I don't want this tank conversation to pass a certain line. And let me explain what I mean by that.
What do you mean by that?
Because I do think that even though tanking is tanking and you got to do what you got to do, I do believe in the basketball gods and I do believe in basketball karma. And I think that there is a line that you probably should not cross. If you don't want to play Domantas Sabonis in a fourth quarter, DeMar didn't come back in until about 3 minutes left in the fourth. If you want to do stuff like that, I'm fine with it. When you start talking about sitting a guy who was battling for his career in Precious Achiuwa and a two-way guy in Daquan Plowden because they're figuring it out and playing well, that's when I think you're getting very close to messing with basketball karma and the basketball gods. And that's not something that I think the Kings should be a part of, and they weren't last night.
Are you almost talking about the whole notion of ethical tanking?
This is deeper than that. Ethical tanking to me is we're not going to, or ethical, non-ethical, we're not going to play Sabonis in the fourth. We're not going to play DeMar in the fourth. If you are pinpointing guys that are playing well, and I believe Precious Achiuwa was close to a career high or got his career high.
He did.
If you are taking away somebody's...
He was 27, he got 29.
If you are taking away somebody's career high because of a tank, that to me is where basketball karma can come bite you. One thing if we're talking about big money players and we're all on the same page. When you start saying, hey, Precious Achiuwa is playing too well, and you start pinpointing stuff like that, hey, Daquan's finally starting to figure it out, knowing that they're really playing for their future that's possibly not with the Kings. Maybe they sign another contract next season, but in 2-3 years, I don't think Plowden and Precious Achiuwa is going to be on the Kings. So when you start digging in between the lines like that, I get very uncomfortable, and that's the type of stuff that to the point of the karma and the basketball gods, that's the type of stuff I think that Adam Silver could even dive deep on and say, I don't agree with it per se, but if you start looking and saying, okay, so Precious Achiuwa was this red hot, he's already shown us there's no rules, Whitey. So now at this point, hey, Precious Achiuwa was on fire and you just pulled him with 10 minutes. That's something I don't think Doug has in his bloodstream, and I don't disagree with it at all.
He's trying to win the game. The coach is trying to win the game.
Anybody that was upset last night because Precious Achiuwa and Daquan Plowden played well, you need to check yourself before you wreck yourself.
Daquan Plowden had a big fourth quarter, 7 for 7 last night. I hadn't even thought of that because you got to play somebody. I suppose you could have brought Eubanks back in, but yeah, the whole notion, by the way, and I know this isn't what you were saying, but I'm hearing a lot of talk lately about ethical tanking. And a lot of Kings fans took some sense of pride in that.
Yeah.
We're tanking ethically. To me, there's no such thing as that. If the idea is we don't want to win games, so we're going to put together a roster of bad players, they're going to try their best and we're going to lose. That's ethical tanking. It's still tanking.
Right.
If the purpose and the intent of the front office is to lose, tanking is tanking. To me, I don't have a problem. I don't know anymore if there's anything morally wrong with tanking, but there's no such thing as ethical tanking. Either you're tanking or you're not.
I think there are levels to it. It's what I just explained. But I think there are levels to it.
But it's still just as egregious, isn't it? If tanking is egregious, then we're not doing it as much as them. If you're doing it, you're doing it. If you're tanking, you're tanking.
Yeah. But
that's the reality is you should be. If you're the Kings, you should be.
But that is the baseline, right? And that's why it's different now because Sabonis isn't playing anymore and Levine isn't playing anymore. But when they were pulling guys out in the fourth, I agree with you. That's all the same level. Oh, well, we weren't doing that in December. We're just doing it now. Okay, well, you're still doing it.
Yeah.
But what I'm talking about is pulling out Daquan Plowden and Precious Achiuwa. That is a whole nother level of that. That is disrespectful to the game.
It was interesting, and I know you and I were exchanging texts at the time when they put DeMar back in the fourth quarter.
Mm-hmm.
And then I don't know that he took any shots. So maybe that was interesting. And you made the point yesterday, Alan. You said, DeMar is more aware of how he's supposed to fit into this than Russ is. Russ is going to do his Russ things, and he's going to play the way he's always played. And DeMar seems more aware of what the organization's larger purpose is. Last night, and you mentioned it, DeMar DeRozan took 3 shots. It was funny because he had 5 assists last night. There was one play in particular that told me where his head is, and I think it's an admirable place, where he dished off to Maxime, who had just a bunny. He's like a 2-footer. He got fouled, and it went 1 foot. But he went to the line. And DeMar's like, hey, because you cost me my assist.
Right.
Because last night, that's what he was trying to get.
Yes.
He knew he wasn't going to score a lot of points.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And we've seen that before. I think 2 games ago, DeMar had 7 assists. So he's basically saying, I don't know if he's how close he is to anybody. I would assume he's not that close to anybody really of note as far as all-time assists. But maybe there's something that he's trying to find there. Or again, as we're going to have a deep conversation about the buyout stuff, maybe he's showing,
he had 7 against the Rockets.
Yeah, hey, as far as other teams are concerned, I can play a number of different ways.
Maybe.
And when they look at the scorebook, because maybe they're not firing up, Kings, Mavericks, they can say, oh, I mean, look at DeMar. He's been assisting like crazy, so he can play different ways.
Here's what I thought of the game last night. The fun thing about a game like that is you actually can have some takeaways. So often this year it's like, yeah, they lost, but there's nothing to take away from it.
Right.
It's meaningless. They're just trying to pile up losses. Last night, Russ didn't play, and they only committed as a team. They committed 4 turnovers. That is not a coincidence, Alan.
Yeah. We got to be very careful because he might be returning, and we're going to talk about that too. There's a piece, I'll say a piece from Brett Siegel. I don't know if I'd call it a report literally, but there is a piece out there, an article from Brett Siegel that mentions that he could return, which we were the first on this, Whitey, just from an eyeball perspective. It just seemed like the Kings, especially if they don't get a point guard, they don't get a point guard first, if they get DeBansa and then get somebody at the end of the first or in the second, that's where they get their point guard. I could see them saying, hey, Russ.
I thought they had their point guard of the future in Killian Hayes.
Well,
that's what you would have us believe.
Well, he's been, he's working through some things. He's pulling, though. I'll tell you what.
I know.
He's not shy.
The airline still hasn't found his jump shot.
He made 1 last night, maybe 2. I know he made 1. I just want to call him. Can somebody help me get his phone number and just say, can you start with a mid-range first? Just warm up. When you go to the gym, Whitey, you don't just walk in there chucking threes.
No, never do that.
You do the mic and drill. You get your layup right. You hang out in the key, and then you stretch it out. So, Killian, you're coming in ice cold.
Well, he was 1 for 9 against Houston, 2 for 8 last night, so trending upwards.
I think, one might have been a fast break. Might have been a fast break. But, when you look at where the Kings are now and what you do have to take away from this win, yeah, there are some good notes. But the Russ thing, to me, we'll get into it. It was a good win. I don't really have any complaints. Anybody that does, I see somebody on the text line, Whitey, 530, maybe you can help me explain what this person is actually saying.
Okay.
530, check yourself before you wreck yourself. What are you talking about? People are upset because the Kings won. That puts a damper on a guaranteed top 5 pick the more the Kings win. Winning these useless games means nothing. Obviously, the players want to win. Nobody expects them to not try hard. So help me out, 530. What are you trying to accomplish with that text? Because you said, are you just trying to explain why fans are upset? I don't really know. I don't, like I said, what do you want them to do? They have to play these games. Mm-hmm. Najee Marshall, what do you have, 40? 35? I mean, they
36.
Won the game.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with Kings fans being annoyed. I have a problem with the notion that you should have pulled out Precious Achiuwa and Daquan Plowden. Listen to how crazy that statement sounds.
Yeah, but I get it. Kings fans want to lose. They want to lose games. Given the flow of the game last night, I don't think that was a viable option.
No.
As you're saying, that you couldn't really do that.
You know,
at some point you're still playing and you're still coaching. But I understand why fans are upset with, like I said, myself, watching that game and seeing them win. It's like, ugh, it's a little uncomfortable, Alan.
But you know where I would go back to? I would not go to that game because those games are going to happen. I would go back to ending the streak. And it was so important that they ended the streak.
But it's 2 out of 3 games now they've won.
But that's what I'm saying. They could have looked at it and said, look, who cares how long this streak gets? We are going to stick to the plan. That game where they end the streak doesn't happen, right? And DeMar and Westbrook, hey, we're not letting you guys just kind of – and that game, they were in control, don't get me wrong. But if they had said, we don't care about the streak, we're going to stick to the plan. It doesn't matter what we have going on. Russ, DeMar, we're sticking to the plan. We don't care how many games we lose in a row because we know organically a game like last night would happen. That's where I would send your frustration, not to the game last night. And moving forward, I would then say to that same conversation, now we're discussing the fact that you use those two. Now you can't have any more situations where DeMar probably can't play another fourth quarter the rest of the season. Same with Westbrook. To me, it's about moving forward because games like last night were always going to happen.
Yeah, well, I think they're going to happen more and more frequently, and I think we've talked about that. That team that Dallas put out on the floor last night, Dallas tanked better than the Kings did last night, and I think we're going to see a lot more of that.
Yeah,
with fewer games to go and a lot more at stake. But I did think it's no coincidence, only 4 turnovers. The shot selection, too. Yeah, Russ wasn't there, so what happens? 19 for Precious shot attempts, 13 for Max. Clifford had 19, 13 for Devin Carter, 12 for Malik Monk, 8 for, Killian Hayes. That's good. Mm-hmm. That's part of developing your younger players. They got to get shots up. So that was good. Second thing is, I don't know if he's probably not going to be a star. I don't know if he's going to be a rotational player on a good team. He might be, but Daquan Plowden is an NBA player.
Yeah, he is. He is, and this is what he's been waiting for, talking to people in his circle at Summer League. He was really close to being one of those guys for the Warriors because, the Warriors are always out of cash, so they need those young players and those inexpensive players.
He scored 19 points in his first NBA game.
Yeah, he was really close to hanging around with the Warriors, and then it didn't work out, and he reemerges here. He's 27 years old. Right? So he is wherever your line of quote unquote young player is, that's really up to you. But this is a guy where you're probably not keeping him and Precious next season, and it's probably going to go to Precious, who is a little bit younger. But he is doing what he is doing. They could bring him back. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, you can keep them both. They're not the same position.
Yeah, you definitely could. But this is a guy who is putting himself into position for a career, right? And next season. And I liked watching it. Would I rather it be Nick Clifford? But Nick Clifford has had his days where he's gone off. When you're playing this amount of random dudes are going to go off when they're facing other random dudes.
Yeah. Plowden made the most of only 7 shots last night. Nick Clifford got up 19 shots. I know you a few days ago had posted something about a Freaky Friday scenario involving the Murray twins. How about some kind of Freaky Friday scenario, Alan, where you take that fire that Daquan Plowden has and you give that to Keegan? Oh, baby.
I mean,
I'd like to see that.
well, now there's a very obvious. Why are you putting me in this situation? Because right now, can you give him his jump shot too?
That might be asking too much, but that would be nice.
You led me there. I could not say it. I mean, that's the Philly stuff though. And Drapes is going to be on at 3, and he can speak to it. That's the Philly stuff. If you hoop in Philly, we know what you're about. And I hear what you're saying, Whitey, and we've had this conversation with the High Flyer about the kind of alpha situation or not. I don't know if it's specifically alpha, not alpha. There's just some guys that are more forward with what they want to do and how they go about their business. And that spans across all sports. I remember Jimmy Garoppolo, he ticked me off, man, and I'm not even a Niners fan. Just because I can't really because I'm so...
He was a great Raider.
Oh, my goodness. He almost made Devontae Adams retire. Then he had to go to L.A. with them. But he would frustrate me because I'm a emotion on my sleeve type guy, and I like athletes that are similar to that. So Keegan, and that's why De'Aaron, the mad De'Aaron thing always bothered me, would just be like that all the time. And Keegan, Harrison Barnes, these guys that are, I guess, more chill and more even keel, if you will. That's great for high school. They always say be even keel in high school. But at some point, you got to have a little bit of that bravado, right? And we have to live in a world where it's somewhere, I think every player should be somewhere in between Keegan Murray and Ja Morant. I'm not worried about anyone in the West. Right, that's where a lot of players live, and you can be anywhere on that scale. I think Keegan needs a little bit more of that, and you saw it with Daquan Plowden. And, I mean, Whitey, it's also different situations. Keegan, 4th overall pick.
Oh, of course. I get it.
He's just got that huge extension.
Right.
Daquan is out here scrapping.
Is Daquan married? Is he recently married?
Well, you know,
Dwayne would probably tell us that.
No, he can't be. I know he's not. I can tell right now. The way he hooping, he ain't got no type of ring. That's singles hoop right there.
By the way, your thoughts on Keegan getting erased from the record book last night by Con Knuppel.
Con Knuppel is a dog, and he can just ball. And it's one of those guys where he does everything. I know this is a bit overused, but he does do everything at his own pace. And I really do enjoy watching him. Look, Keegan, maybe this is good for him. Maybe this was something that was just not hanging over his head, but hey, you need to do this because you are that version of a rookie. Maybe with the erase, he can say, I got to start a new legacy because it was just a couple years ago and it's already cooked. Right. So that means by the time Keegan's done, he might be about 5th on that list, maybe 6th.
And Con Knuppel blew the doors off that number.
Yeah.
He's got a long ways to go. The record for the most threes by a rookie.
You know what's interesting, though? Because I don't know. Do you
remember who held the record before Keegan?
Was it Steph?
I think it was Donovan Mitchell.
Okay, that makes sense. He puts him up.
Yeah.
Arguably a chucker, but that's a conversation for a different day. You know what's interesting about Con Knuppel to me? I think to your point of Cam Boozer, I don't know that Con Knuppel will ever be a number 1 on a championship team.
Probably not.
But he's a damn good 2 or 3. And I think that's a good argument for a Cam Boozer. Completely different types of players. But if you think that somebody is that solidified as a 2 or 3, even though you don't have the 1 yet, you should probably just get him when you have the chance. Or especially if you're choosing between that or taking a swing on a Caleb Wilson, I probably still would, but I can understand why somebody would say, no, I'm going to go get somebody that I know is at least going to be a 2 or 3 option.
By the way, sidebar here, looking at Tankathon and their mock draft, I know you like Richie Saunders, right? You love him.
Yeah. I like where this is going.
He, right now, in their mock draft, Richie Saunders goes 44th to Denver. The Kings have the 42nd pick. So it's not out of the question.
And they need shooting.
That the Kings would get your guy, Richie.
They need shooting.
I totally agree with that.
This is like Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow. This is like Joe Burrow, Joe Icy, Jamar Chase. You get AJ, you get Saunders, you roll from there. Whitey, that is the best idea I think you've ever had. You got to do it.
I'm just pointing it out. It's not really my idea. I'm just noticing that.
No, I like you know what you're doing.
Just noticing that.
Now we have a plan.
2 other takeaways. One is so obvious. Precious Achiuwa can play. We know that, especially against a team that's small and tanking as he continues to prove. And then I do think the Kings are not tanking well enough. They've still got some wiggle room there. They're a game and a half worse than Indiana. It's making me just a little nervous there, Alan.
Yeah, and the deadline for the buyouts, that is Sunday night. So we will stop buyout conversations basically today.
Nothing's going to happen. Am I right?
I don't think so.
Nobody's going to get bought out by the Kings.
But when you say they're not tanking well enough, I'm looking back here, Whitey, on the last game that the Kings won, because that was against the Grizzlies. Again, that was another tough one, and Russ played 33. Yeah, that was the Russ 25 piece. You literally can't do that anymore. You know, and DeMar, 29 minutes, 19 points. Well, it depends
how many turnovers come with the 25 piece and how many shots.
It
does.
Yeah, I know, but DeMar at 19, Russ at 25, you can't have them combined for 40 again. You really can't. So I'm more of a look forward type guy. That game, they wanted to end the streak. Okay, cool. Last night, Precious Achiuwa was unstoppable. He scored, I think, 6 points against the Rockets the day prior, or the game prior. So you never really know what you're going to get with him, and you'll live with it either way. But what you can control,
you're right. He was 3 for 11, and it was the day before. Remember, that's the other thing about that win last night. Second out of a back-to-back.
Right. So I don't know if another conversation is required with DeMar and Russ. I think DeMar kind of already gets it, but you cannot let that Grizzlies game is the problem. They cannot combine for 40 plus again. Mm-hmm. They just can't.
Are we on the same page here? I know Jay Ross in his infinite wisdom has pointed out, I've heard him say, look, we get anxious about where the Kings end up, but if you get the top pick, it doesn't matter where you end up. You know, if you're 7th and you get the top pick, you're good. So we don't know. So you could argue that maybe it's not that important to get the first pick. But I still want to end up with the worst pick.
Yeah.
That is the worst record. I want to maximize my odds. And I know there's no guarantee you get the first pick. You probably don't. But I do want to pick no worse than 5th. I think it's really important. Also because it's very gettable. It's very doable for the Kings.
Yeah, I mean, well, it should be. It should be priority number 1.
Yeah.
Would you say that there is any worry that they'll drop out? And, you know, that was everybody freaking out last night about ending up with an 8th pick or somebody like that. I mean, how bad meaning good as in wins, how bad are you worried about this getting?
I'm a little concerned because they're 14-47 and Indiana's 15-45 and Brooklyn's 15-43. Indiana's lost 5 straight. Brooklyn's lost 6 straight. Washington's lost 3 straight. Those teams are doing whatever they can to tank. Oh, they might get fined. They're like, fine. Yeah. Fine us. We're good.
Right. They don't have a vet issue where, hey, out of respect, we got to start these guys. They don't have something like that. One thing, too, Whitey, I was thinking about, DeMar probably is trying to get, I know there's no award, but he's probably trying to get that Iron Man.
Did you know he's from Los Angeles?
Oh, I did. Compton, actually.
That's right.
But he's trying to get that, 82 games straight and playing in all 82.
Yeah.
And we appreciate that. So you don't have, I know we were talking baseball. The Giants were actually televised today, taking on the Dodgers. You don't have any superstition questions with getting having the worst record, how the worst record in this new iteration of the flattened odds has never gotten the first pick?
It's not superstition. It's just the math of it.
Okay, but but that's what I'm saying. You don't want to, you know what? Let's get the second worst record. Wouldn't you feel safer there than having the worst record?
No, because I don't want to I want to know that I'm at least going to pick 5th or better in this draft.
And you can only do that having the worst.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. By the way, Los Gigantes 12, Dodgers 2.
Yeah, get them Smurfs out of here, man. Get them Smurfs out of here. Pack it up. Who went Ding Dong Donkey Kong for him?
Yeah, let me see. Oh, the A's are leading. Let me make sure I got that right. Athletics are up 6-5.
Pack it up, man.
Yeah, A's up 6-5, bottom 7. For
Willie Adames with a Ding Dong Donkey Kong.
You. Yeah.
Victor Robles with the Ding Dong Donkey Kong, which it's very confusing. There's no actual paper trail of Victor Robles joining the Giants.
Really?
I was looking at this for about an hour today.
Is he AI?
It's very bizarre. There's nothing on Twitter. There's nothing anywhere, but he is playing for them. There's no update anywhere. It's very weird.
Is that the guy that used to be with Washington?
He's the guy that
and
the guy that I think threw the bat, if I'm not mistaken. And he was suspended for a bit.
See the guy that was on Seattle and he got thrown out stealing home with the bases loaded?
Maybe.
Yeah.
It's very weird, but he hit a home run today.
All right. The Kings are off until Sunday, right? They take on the Lakers.
A hungry
have
Lakers
their own
team.
problems.
That's right. This is good. We want a hungry Lakers team. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't want to win many more games. Nothing against any fan that feels good. Yeah, they won. That's great. The young players playing well. Don't want many more wins, Alan. And I think a big part of tanking is you got to make sure that your coach is able to execute it the way you want.
Yeah.
No one could blame Doug Christie right now for trying to win games. It's counter to what we're actually about this year.
You know what's so funny?
This year is just so weird.
You know what's so funny? If you're Najee Marshall, that game went so well for you because you're always trying to stat pad. Who cares? It's the Mavericks. Cooper Flagg's not even playing. So Najee Marshall, they get down by 25. And now I can just go mode and just stat pad because we're not going to win the game. I know they got close, but they didn't really want that life. So what a perfect situation for Najee Marshall, because they're another situation where right now, last night, Brandon Williams, they didn't really have anybody. They had that one kid with AJ Johnson.
AJ Johnson.
Yeah.
He was 4 for 4.
He was.
The Kings defense is terrible.
He was. I mean, Najee Marshall was doing whatever he wanted, and he gets to walk away with the 30-plus piece, and the organization's happy because they lost the game. So a great night for the Mavericks.
Right.
Great night for the Mavericks, for Najee Marshall. I can't remember what if he's still on contract or if he's expiring, but he was just loving life last night.
Not a great team that the Mavericks had on the floor last night, right? Can we agree?
I would not say so.
They were 45 for 81. They shot 56% from the floor. They made 44% of their threes against the Kings.
40 what?
40. They were 10 for 23, 44%, 43.5.
Jeez. And Clay had 1.
Yeah.
Why aren't we talking about Clay getting bought out? Because he wants his money? Because what is he doing?
Yeah. He didn't play that much, did he?
No.
Played 16 minutes.
And we know what Clay got going on. He's going on, have a nice meal.
Yeah, gotta go. Gotta go. Thank you, Jay. Definitely gotta go. Before Alan starts talking about you know what. When we come back, the latest on Russ and his future with the Kings next on Sactown Sports.
Listen to the #1 sports lineup in Sacramento.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Matt George, and Kayla Anderson. The Drive Guys with Kevin Gleason and Alan Stiles.
Every weekday live and local 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Online at SactownSports.com or download the app right on your phone. Your #1 source for all your Northern California sports. Sactown Sports 1140.
We just want to have enough money for retirement.
And travel to visit our grandchildren.
I understand. That's why at Fisher Investments, we start by getting to know each other, so I can learn about your family, lifestyle, goals and needs, allowing us to tailor your portfolio.
What about commission-based products?
We don't sell those. We're a fiduciary, obligated to act in your best interest.
So how do your management fees work?
We have a simple management fee based on the value of your portfolio. So we do better when you do better.
We appreciate that kind of transparency.
We also check in with you regularly to keep you up to date on the markets and your portfolio.
Well, what other services do you offer?
As a client, you have access to resources on investing, financial planning, estate planning, Social Security, Medicare, and more.
Wow, sounds like Fisher Investments has everything we need.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
If your business depends on reliable vehicles, it's time to upgrade your fleet at myelkgrovechevrolet.com. We specialize in fleet pricing, bulk discounts, and fast approvals, so your team stays on the road and on the job. From work trucks and vans to fuel-efficient sedans and SUVs, we have the inventory, service, and financing to keep your business moving. Call or visit myelkgrovechevrolet.com today and ask about exclusive fleet savings. myelkgrovechevrolet.com, driving business forward.
The Travel Guys, new on KHTK 1140 every Saturday at 11 a.m.
We'll make you a smarter traveler. Tips you can use on the road and at the airport, plus reports from top consumer advocates.
The Travel Guys, 11 a.m. on Sactown Sports 1140.
Want the best movie experience in town? Join Sactown Sports IMAX Pass by visiting SactownSports.com. Sign up today. You can win tickets to see this week's films at the Esquire IMAX Theater.
You remember me from a show called And Joe? I'm back on the radio, Sacramento. know, it's Joe Mami, and when you need your new country fix, join me weekdays from 6A to 10 for the Pat and Cody with Joe show on New Country 105.1 KNCI or on the free KNCI app.
Card collectors know there's nothing as special as a rare one-of-one card. And now you can hear a very rare one-of-a-kind sports card show right here on Sactown Sports. Whitey Gleason here inviting you to join me and Mr. True Sports Cards himself, Imran Pilati, for the True Sports Card Show every Saturday morning at 10 on Sactown Sports. It's the only sports card radio show in the nation. For all your hobby needs, get to True Sports Cards, 6661 Stanford Ranch Road in Rockland. And for hobby insight and fun, join us for the True Sports Card Show Saturday mornings at 10 on Sactown Sports.
Get ready, Sacramento. The Sacramento Boat Show and Big RV Show is taking over Cal Expo, March 5th through March 8th. It's 2 huge shows, 1 massive event. Don't miss it. Get details now at 2hugeshows.com.
Country in the Park is back. May 8th and 9th at Cal Expo. Miranda Lambert. John Party. Chris Young, Turnpike Troubadours, Dylan Scott, and more. Line dancing, mechanical bulls, and food trucks. Make it a lucky night out of live country music and dancing for your crew. Tickets start at only $68. Country in the Park, May 8th and 9th at Cal Expo with Bar None Auction, Sky River Casino, and Trex Decking and Railing. More info at CITPFest.com.
Spring is here, and there's really nothing better than hitting the open road in a new Honda. Whether you're shopping new or pre-owned, Stockton Honda has the selection and savings, plus get top dollar for your trade. And while life's roads are often filled with bumps, buying from Stockton Honda couldn't be smoother. Wherever the road you travel might lead, Stockton Honda is happy to get you there. Come in today or go to StocktonHonda.com.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
Download the app and listen to The Drive Guys.
The Drive Guys with Kevin Gleason and Alan Stiles.
On Sactown Sports 1140.
All right, Alan has some things he wants to clean up here. There's a very confusing sequence there at the end of the last segment.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so basically we got to the bottom of it for the hardcore Giants fans out there. Google thinks that Victor Robles is on the Giants, but Victor Robles is not on the Giants. It is...
No wonder it was confusing. It's not your fault.
I mean, I don't know how... It's been like this for a couple days now. It is Victor Barakoto, who I don't necessarily know who he is, which I need to figure out, but I think he played a couple days ago.
He's a masher.
I think he played a couple days ago, and it said, again, Victor Robles. So I spent about an hour trying to figure this out, and thank you, Whitey, for helping me. Google does not know who Victor Barakoto is. Mm-hmm. So he hit the home run.
So you and Google have that in common.
Yeah. Do you know it? Am I sleeping on Barakoto? I'm going to do my homework this weekend.
Tony Ray Harvey, meanwhile, says Najee Marshall signed a 3-year, $27 million deal with the Mavs before the season started.
So he's locked in.
Yeah. Clarifying that.
Yeah. So he's got... 2 more years?
Yeah, I think that was a guy that we were talking about here in the offseason as a possible future King. I think Kyle Draper was high on him, and Kyle Draper is going to join us at 3 o'clock today.
Yes, yeah. And I think Najee Marshall is another interesting piece. I'm not comparing him to Precious Achiuwa, but one of those guys where he plays his role. I don't think whatever he's doing, I know he was averaging, was he averaging 20 points per game this season? He is that because that's what he's doing. But once Cooper and the crew comes back, he's not going to do that again. Mm-hmm. So I don't really know what to make of this Najee Marshall season because the Mavs aren't doing anything. I'm not saying teams are, well, it looked like the Kings were just letting them score last night, but, teams aren't necessarily, we got to lock down Najee Marshall.
Yeah. Yeah, we may have some insight here on Russ's future with the Kings. Before we get to that real quick here, on the text line, on the Drive Guys text line.
Drive Guys.
339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. I may be in the minority, but it's great to see the Kings do well. Winning breeds winning. Side note, glad Marvin Bagley did not get his revenge game. Mm-hmm. You can blame Doug for wanting to win games if he's not on the same page as the GM. That's a problem. That's from Rob M. No coach is ever going to be like, you want to lose? Okay.
But Rob, even when
that's not how people coach.
But Rob, even when we're having that conversation, we can have that conversation about the Grizzlies game. And again, they were trying to end the streak. What did you want Doug to do last night? Like I said, sitting Precious Achiuwa to me is bad basketball karma. That's crazy talk. And I'm not having it.
Mm-hmm. And then finally, the Kings will have the worst record and get the number 1 pick. We will break that streak.
Do it.
Yeah.
Do it now.
Somebody in the chat points out that all 3 of the teams with the worst records have a 14% chance. We know that. Thank you. But the worst team with the worst record can only draft, no worse than 5th. So that's the upside to having the worst record.
Side note on the Marvin Bagley side note, I know he bumped his head. He didn't have a bad game.
He took a shot.
I was surprised he went back in.
So did Devin Carter later.
Yeah, I think he went back in. I'm not saying this is the only reason, but I do think Marvin Bagley wanted to play well against the Kings because there was really no point in him. And he's kind of playing for his future as well. Not a huge point in him coming back in. 10 points, 9 rebounds. So he was close to a double-double, not a bad game. But, I think it's more about what Maxime Reynaud did in 2 completely different situations, 22 points and 6 rebounds for Maxime Reynaud. Whitey, isn't that the worst, though? I don't know how many revenge situations you've been in, and this could be, I know you love talking about relationships.
Every day.
But any type of situation, whether it's work, you get a new job, or anything like that, when it doesn't go as you had hoped, and I don't think it went as Marvin Bagley had hoped last night because he had been playing well, or do you think too much time has passed? You think he was juiced up to play last night? Because I feel like he had to be.
I don't know if and I don't know him. Some people listening may know him. I don't know him personally. I don't know that he gets juiced up enough about anything, and I think as far as him being a professional athlete, I think that might be part of the issue.
Well, I can understand why he was on the Kings then. That's the same Daquan Plowden conversation we were having.
Yeah.
Because Maxime, he gets juiced up. I think, we've seen even from Summer League, Maxime was doing a lot of chirping, a lot of talking. But I don't know. I did typical athletes, typical competitors at least had a little something. And when he bumped his head, there truly was no reason for him to return to the game. So I do think maybe in his own way, he would have liked to have a good game.
Nobody does revenge games like Russ.
No one.
Are we going to get a chance to see him on his revenge tour through this year and even into next year, Alan?
That's what we're kind of hearing. I mean, Brett Siegel in his latest article mentioned that he could see that being a thing with the Kings. And we were...
Do you have it? Because I think we, like you said, we should actually read exactly the way.
Yeah, and we had discussed, look, all you're going to be able to do is you're only going to be able to grab, 1 point guard or something like that. If you have a conversation with Russ, maybe it could work out. So this is what Brett Siegel says. With the Kings, Westbrook has been a leading voice both on and off the court for the young players on this roster. Westbrook has the respect of his teammates and the Kings coaching staff, so why would he want to think about leaving? For the first time in a long time, Westbrook is actually with the team that values his production and skills. Assuming Westbrook stays with the Kings entering March, meaning he doesn't get moved by Sunday, it would not be shocking to see him sign another contract with the Kings in the summer. So it's not him saying, I'm hearing that the Kings would like to bring him back. He's simply saying, it would not surprise me because what I'm hearing is that the Kings love them some Russ, and Russ loves him some Kings.
Yeah, to me, the tell is, why would he not want to come back? What is the wording on that exactly? Why wouldn't he want to come back?
Yeah, so why would he want to think about leaving?
To me, it's clear what side of the fence all this information is coming from. Mm-hmm. And there's nothing wrong with it, but, it's pretty apparent to me this is coming from Russ's camp.
Right.
And it's basically, hey, why wouldn't they have him back? He'd love to be back there. Doesn't mean the Kings feel that way. They may not. Mm-hmm. But that's a far cry from, how it's going to be aggregated and eventually misconstrued into something like, I hear Russ is coming back next year.
Yeah.
Maybe, but that's not what that says.
Yeah. I think you keep Doug Christie, assuming he's coaching next season, you keep Doug Christie in a tough spot as long as you have Russ on the team. Because let us not forget, to me, it's not really about starting or not starting because Russ did start the season on the bench. It's about the minutes. And we never really saw Russ with limited minutes. We don't know how that would go. I know we thought we would this season and then we didn't. And we're kind of seeing it now, but there's still games where he's getting past the 25-minute point. So it would definitely be another conversation with Russ if they went down that path, because when he says values his production and skills, to me, that was something that has changed throughout the season. I think early on they did when they were trying to win games. I don't know how much they value his production now and going into next season.
Going into next year, a lot of people are going to disagree here, but I could not feel any more strongly than I do about anything as I do about this. If Russ is brought back to the Kings next year, that is a very strong indicator that they don't plan to compete next year. Now, we don't expect them to, but I know that depending on what the league does with lottery reform and depending on how well the Kings do in the draft, maybe they decide to go with the hybrid rebuild. To me, if they bring back Russ, that is a very, very strong indicator that they are not serious about winning next year.
You better be careful who hears you say that.
I think it's there. I think it's obvious.
Yeah. Well, it's very controllable. That's not supposed to be, a dig at Russ per se.
Right.
But it's a very controllable situation. In theory, it is. Hey, Russ, turn it on, turn it off. That's just what it is. If you brought in a Ty Jerome, you can't really turn it off with him because he is young enough to where you got to let him go. You got to let him do his thing.
Yep. When we come back, what the NBA should be promoting instead of the evils of tanking next. Sactown Sports. Happy Friday.
Stay up to date on Sacramento sports. Join the Sactown Sports 1140 newsletter. Visit SactownSports.com.
You ever notice how the other guys scream about massive discounts on their Dodge, Chrysler, or Jeep Ram vehicles? Then you get to the fine print and boom, another $5,200 in mandatory ads. At Hoblet, we don't insult your intelligence. The price you see is the price you pay. No mystery add-ons, no bait and switch, no gotcha when you sit down to buy. Hoblet, family owned for 77 years. Transparency, straightforward pricing. Buy it right, buy it at Hoblet.
Injured and you're considering an LA law firm looking to charge you 45% to 50% in attorney's fees? That's overcharging. Ashton & Price has been around for over 25 years, and I can tell you no matter how complicated your injury case, you should never be charged 45% or 50% in attorney's fees ever. Direct, experienced, unrelenting, and honest local representation matters. It's called Home Court Advantage for a reason. Ashton & Price, serious local attorneys for serious people with serious injuries. So for the best local advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
Paramount Pictures and Spyglass Media Group present Scream 7. When a new Ghostface killer emerges in the quiet town where Sidney Prescott has built a new life, her darkest fears are realized as her daughter becomes the next target. Determined to protect her family, Sidney must face the horrors of her past to put an end to the bloodshed once and for all. Starring Nev Campbell, Isabel May, Jasmine Savoy Brown, Mason Gooding, with Matthew Lillard, Joel McHale, and Courtney Cox. In theaters February 27th.
Right now at Elk Grove Honda, you can lease a 2025 Accord Hybrid Sports Sedan for only $39.99 down, including first payment due at lease inception, excluding tax and license. 35 monthly payments of $299 plus tax, license, and zero security deposit on approved credit. Mileage in excess of $10,000 per year at 20 cents per mile. It really is the least you can do. We're Elk Grove Honda in the Elk Grove Auto Mall, Highway 99 and Elk Grove Boulevard, or on the web at elkgrovehonda.com.
I gotta get an Elk Grove Honda.
Guys, your testosterone level impacts your energy, drive, weight, hair loss, and even ED. Revive Men's Health Sacramento will check your T level for free. For your free T level check, exam, and consultation, call 916-277-8599 or visit revivemenshealth.com.
LinkedIn is pretty amazing at helping you grow your small business. We cannot make your email response time faster. We can help you sell, market, and hire in one place. We cannot help you find space for your 3 desk drinks. Why do you have 3? And while we can't help you find the perfect volume for your presentation video, LinkedIn can help you find the perfect audience for your business. Grow your small business on LinkedIn. Learn more at linkedin.com/smallbusiness.
Hi, I'm Michael from the Warren Treaty. You know the jingle. Now discover the facts about Ozempic, a GLP-1. Only Novo Nordisk makes FDA-approved Ozempic. Learn about the real thing.
Talk to your healthcare professional today. Call 1-833-OZEMPIC or visit Ozempic.com to view the medication guide and to learn more about Ozempic. Semaglutide injection 0.5 milligram, 1 milligram, and 2 milligrams.
Get your afternoon home for Kings talk and so much more. The Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
I don't know why the NBA is so intent upon talking about tanking, how evil it is. Now they're going to fix things. You look at what's going on in the NBA right now, there are so many better things they should be talking about, Alan. You've got some great races going on. You've got, last night, you had Minnesota with a narrow win that lifted them. Now they're just a half game out of fourth. And you had a big shot by Ant, and he's screaming at his coach, Chris Finch.
Yes.
Did you see that?
Oh, of course
I guess
I saw
Chris Finch had told him, pass the ball.
Right.
And he makes a shot where he probably should have passed. He says, that's what I leap and do.
That's what I do.
Yeah.
I'm like that.
Yeah.
I love it.
What's great about that is that, again, it shows that the players do care. It's a regular season game. The players care.
I'm going to take this somewhere else for a quick second.
Okay.
Because there have been player comparisons to this person. And we've gone back and forth, and we're going to continue to go back and forth on this guy simply because of the, I guess, ceiling that he has. And I'm talking about Darren Peterson, because Darren Peterson has been compared to Anthony Edwards, right? Do you think people would look at Darren Peterson differently if, even though he was still going through what he was going through right now, he played like that on the court, right? And we were having this conversation about that dog and how Keegan Murray doesn't normally come off like that. Daquan Plowden seems to, have more of that. Dylan Cardwell is just himself. He's Dylan Cardwell. Mm-hmm. But even when Darren Peterson plays, I feel like I'd be more comfortable if he did, the guy, he's very stoic. And I don't think that helps me when I watch him on top of all
I see that. I see what you mean. I haven't thought of that, but yeah.
When Ant plays, even if Ant, it was doing the Darren Peterson stuff, when he's in, this is the dude, the alpha conversation. Darren Peterson, he was talking about, and I'm not making fun, but he's talking about, I'm kind of a loner type of guy. I'm like, what you're going to be the savior.
Yeah.
Do you? I'm not trying to do the Stephen A, intangibles thing, but I don't know, man. It doesn't make me comfortable.
The thing with Ant, if he went through anything like that, I feel like we all would know exactly what was going on because he would tell us.
Yes.
There'd be no mystery. Like, what's going on with him? He would tell you exactly why he's not playing.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I saw that, and I know we have seen those comparisons from Darren Peterson to Ant, but I thought, but the difference is those intangibles that you cannot teach, and I haven't seen it with Darren Peterson yet. I know this wasn't about Darren Peterson, but that was the first thing I thought of because they're the same type of player.
Yeah. I think that when it's all said and done, when we get through the March Madness, I think Darren Peterson's going to be the consensus number one, but we'll see, and he has some work to do in that regard. I think we can all agree on that, and I think it's Eric Grubel's latest rankings. I think he has Boozer 1, to Bonsa 2nd, and Peterson 3rd.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you know what? 'Tis the season. Because I love this, Whitey, because we haven't talked enough about the NFL Combine. By the way, I probably run about 4.7 right now, 4.7, 4.8. I think I could go. I'm going sub 5.
Really?
Oh yeah.
I wanted to get the Combine going here, the cage to cage.
We got to think of the events. So last night I'm watching my guy Sonny Styles. I was up very late watching.
Spells it with a Y.
With a Y, but he's still my guy. We're not cousins because it's an I and a Y, but he's still my guy. And I'm watching all these guys run the combine, do all this. And what do I see? You know what's going kind of viral right now? Well, you have people saying that Ty Simpson tape. Oh my goodness. You might need to think about him over Fernando. And we do this thing every year, the collective we, when somebody's been sitting at one for too long, they get bored. Mm-hmm. I know Ty Simpson dealt with some injuries, but we're going to do the same thing in the NBA. Debansa, I've been hearing about Debansa forever. I've been hearing about, same with Cam Boozer, but it's been Darren Peterson for too long. It's been Debansa for too long. So somebody, contrarian, I'm not saying they don't believe it. You know what? I think Boozer's number one. No one's done that before, and we do it every single season. And the one season I remember them never really doing it, maybe for a hot season, was Trevor Lawrence. Now, it turns out none of those quarterbacks were actually good outside of Trevor Lawrence, but tis the season, Whitey. They do this every year. I'm not saying I don't believe it, but you just get fatigue of seeing the same name at one. So let's just throw somebody else in there at one.
Mm-hmm. Well, my point here is that the NBA is going on and on about how bad tanking is because tanking devalues the product and devalues the regular season.
Yeah.
But this is actually an outstanding regular season. I don't know why they're not focusing more on that. Mentioned last night, we were just talking about Minnesota over the Clippers. Minnesota is right there now in a battle for one of the top 4 spots. You got the Spurs. They've won 11 in a row. There's a lot of great stuff going on in the NBA. So why aren't they focusing more on that? I've been feeling out, we've been talking about how maybe there's something else they don't want us to talk about. Maybe it's a distraction. But there's another report here. We've heard this before. This is from a reporter in Utah. And it's not Tony Jones who's going to join us later today. But this reporter, it's a female. I think her last name is Todd, and I apologize. I don't have her first name on here. But she's saying, oh, yeah, the NBA doesn't want to admit it. It has opened the door to a problem that has grown beyond its control. The NBA doesn't want to admit that it can massage the player participation policy to keep the gambling world happy, end quote. So this reporter from Utah.
Sarah Todd? Is it Sarah
Yeah,
Todd?
thank you, Sarah Todd. A lot of people in Utah are really upset about the way the league is focusing on the Jazz. And people are saying, well, the reason the league is upset about this is because it's wreaking havoc with the game books, and it's throwing everything out of whack for them because people are less likely to make wagers on games when you can see, okay, that seems tanking.
Yeah.
So it's hurting the gambling outfits in the pocketbook, and then they're putting pressure on the NBA, and that's why Commissioner Stern's like, we're not going to have this anymore.
Yeah.
Gambling.
Well, and I think the other part of that is where they fit into it, right? You'll hear FanDuel, official sports betting partner of the NBA. I mean, they've teamed up. They're in bed with these guys.
Yes.
So it's hard for them they can't be objective, right? Because of where they're at right now. And just as an example, I was talking to my guy Schmal and Miles yesterday. And what happens
He's
is
no stranger to the
and I'll tell you this
apps.
much. Schmal and Miles loves a second half wager. But when you're dealing with 2 tanking teams, you know what happens? There is no Kings Mavs second half. Last night, I think the apps got surprised that it was somewhat of a weird close game, so they put them back on.
Schmallen told you that?
Schmallen told me that. So they did put the players back on, and then guess what happened? DeMar doesn't take another shot. So they're in a tough spot to where they know we can't put any Kings vets on our app or everybody's just going to hammer the under and they're probably going to walk out scot-free.
Yeah, so that costs them money.
Because
it gives them fewer chances to make money.
Yes.
And they put pressure on the commissioner, and all of a sudden the commissioner is livid about tanking.
Yeah.
That may be the explanation.
It's that. I know we've also talked, and I'm very excited to have Tony Jones on because of his piece bringing up the small market thing. There's also going back to the regular season. When you ask, why aren't they talking about the regular season as much? I do think it's because they don't want to talk about gambling and how it's just been kind of squirrely, this whole deal. But also, you have OKC, their third year as the number 1 seed, and they're doing it. I know they're still number 1, but the Spurs are right on their heels, and the Pistons have the best record. But you have the the Thunder without Shea, without Jalen Williams, just don't ever play. They're still the 1 seed. That's boring. Mm-hmm. And then you have the Pistons, who I wouldn't call them boring because they're always fighting somebody. But, it's Detroit. So on top of that, I guarantee you, all the minions out there would be talking about the regular season more if the Lakers were the 1 seed, and I don't know. I mean, Boston's about the 2 seed, but if the Knicks were the 1 seed as well, I don't think that helps what they want the narrative to be right now.
Okay. By the way, Tony Ray Harvey weighs in on Russ with this, and he would know. He says, just by observations in the locker room, I can't go into details, but those younger players value Russell Westbrook's presence. Tony Ray Harvey. Thanks, Tone. Good to have you with us today. On the text line here from Will. I think Will was on hold. Sorry, Will, we didn't get you. Fellas, you guys may disagree, but I favor Daquan over Neek. He's a better dribbler, shooter, defender. Neek turns the ball over a lot. His dunk was easily the dunk of the night. That's from Will.
Yeah.
Daquan Plowden over Nick Clifford. What?
I don't know if it's because Daquan is a little a skinnier frame, but Daquan, I do think he seems to look taller than Nick, but I think, isn't Nick listed at 6'5"?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, Daquan is 6'4", but that doesn't seem right. I got to see them stand up next to each other. But the only reason I bring it up is because Will is comparing them, and even though Daquan is 3 years older, that is a comparison that I don't think about as much, but they really are kind of the similar type of player. I don't think Daquan would ever have the ball as much.
Nick is a better distributor by far.
Mm-hmm.
Can he play point? Well, maybe. Daquan Plowden's not a point guard.
No.
And he would never pretend that he is.
Yeah.
Also, you could maybe get away with sliding Nick up to the 3 spot a little easier than Daquan, although I think Daquan has played it a little bit because they kind of need, somebody to play there.
I think he played the 3 when he first came up to the NBA with the Kings. And then after that, I think they did, right, Precious starts playing more.
Yeah.
Keegan was there.
Hopefully there's room for both. I don't think there's any way that the powers that be with the Kings are going to have Daquan anywhere near Nick in their pecking order.
No. I mean, you can't.
It's
3 years is a big deal, people.
Yeah.
I mean, 3 years is a big deal.
But Daquan's proving, like we said, he's proving he's an NBA player.
Yeah. He can go.
And if you can shoot, Allen, there's a spot for you.
Yeah.
Especially on this team.
But I don't understand. You're just saying that Nick is going to get more playing time than him? I'm confused now.
Yes. Oh, he definitely is.
Okay.
He's one of their – they see him potentially as a cornerstone.
I thought you were saying that Daquan – because I'm more so of the mindset that Daquan will probably just find a spot somewhere else.
Well, I hope they keep him.
Yeah.
I love him.
He
was my guy before he was your guy.
Yeah. He was Kevin Dana's guy first for both of us.
Maybe.
I can't wait to do this end of season roster because – I'm kind of throwing you in that bucket too, Whitey. There's a lot of you out there where we got to keep Precious. We got to keep Daquan. They don't have to keep any of these guys. Can we say that?
I don't know that I said that.
I mean, we got to do it. Priority number 1. They don't. It would be nice.
You're going to have at least 3 rookies coming in, right? There's 3 spots
That's what
right
I'm
there.
saying. That's what I mean, can we chill out?
But you do that. You got to keep Dev. You got to keep Daquan. You got to keep Precious. Yeah, I see what you mean.
I'm just saying, the thing about Precious is at least he's 6'8". That's why I went back to the Nick conversation, because Daquan and Nick are still in the same vicinity as far as type of player. They're both shooting guards. They're just different shooting guards. So that's why I brought that up, because I just can't wait, because a lot of y'all, it's top priority.
Daquan's a better shooter than Nick.
Yes.
Nick can still become a really good shooter, but he's just a little more versatile. When we come back, Kyle Draper, he's your mentor, right?
Oh, my mentor.
Yeah.
Oh, he's going to join us.
Drapes Takes when we come back to Sactown Sports. It's Friday, damn it.
Download the Sactown Sports app.
Sacramento sports in your pocket. This is Sactown Sports 1140.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Have you tried my Colombian tamales?
Yes, but the Mexican tamales I brought are way better.
Colombian tamales wrapped in plantain leaves are unmatched, you know.
But the Mexican tamales wrapped in corn husks are the authentic ones.
At least we can agree that they taste better with Pepsi.
Without a doubt, tamales deserve Pepsi. No matter what tamales you love, enter for a chance to win a year's worth of groceries. Powered by Pepsi. No purchase necessary. U.S. residents 18 or over. Ends April 5th, 2026. Rules at pepsipromo.com/free groceries. Pepsi is a registered trademark of Pepsi Going.
High Voltage Live Boxing returns to the venue on March 7th as Uppercut Promotions presents 6 of Northern California's top fighters. Thunder Showdown March 7th at the venue at Thunder Valley Casino Resort. Tickets at Ticketmaster. Fight card subject to change.
Tune in every Thursday, Friday, and Saturday for the Toyota Tahoe Report with Johnny Mosley and me, Elena, bringing you the latest weather conditions up at Tahoe. Brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. Toyota, let's go places.
You remember me from a show called And Joe? I'm back on the radio, Sacramento. It's Joe Mommy, and when you need your new country fix, join me weekdays from 6 to 10 for the Pat and Cody with Joe show on New Country 105.1 KNCI or on the free KNCI app.
Capital Casino is conveniently located in downtown 411 16th Street and has been a part of the greater Sacramento area for over 20 years. They offer the best variety of games in the region in a safe and friendly environment. There's plenty of parking, all well lit and monitored by security. Come have a great meal at the cafe and restaurant inside. Capital Casino has the best food, the best service, and the best action. But please always remember to gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
KHD 1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sactown Sports 1140.
That is not true, Alan. Now, I know you interviewed him media day.
I did interview him on media day.
Well, he was on this show over the summer.
Okay, but that's not
which was first.
Yeah,
What was unofficial?
Well, he's in the jersey, right? The Kings.
Why do you
real
think
deal
we
jersey.
had him on? Because he was a Sacramento King.
Yeah,
now,
but I
wasn't here that day, unfortunately.
Did he sign that contract yet, the two-way yet?
Sure,
Maybe not.
yeah.
I don't know.
I think it was the day he signed it.
We had him on when everything was official. It's a little different.
But which is first? I mean, it's very simple.
It's like
you
a
can
first
try to
card.
muddy the waters.
No, I'll put it in a way that you could understand. It's like a first card versus a rookie card.
Well, let's see what Kyle Draper thinks. Drapes, how are you today?
What's up, fellas? I'm a little tired, but I'm all good. How you guys doing?
Good. I need you to set the record straight here. This is something that happened on our show. I wasn't here, but I believe you were. Everyone's crazy about Daquan Plowden. And Alan Stiles is getting credit for being the first to have done an interview with Daquan Plowden. But I think you and Jay did one last summer, didn't you?
No, we did. I do believe we did.
Yes.
Because he's from Philly, and we talked about that. He's right around the corner from me.
Yeah.
And, that's my guy. Come on, man. Come on, Alan. You know what? Don't get me started on Alan Stiles. He's been stealing a lot of my material lately, and I'm going to have to I might have to send him an invoice or a cease and desist order or something.
Drapes, first of all, let's not do that, because you can't send me anything when you do not respond to my text. I reach out, hey Drapes, how's it going? I know you running around. You're my mentor. That's what you said when you gave that great soliloquy.
Yeah.
When you said, hey, I'm moving on. I was watching it live. I said, Drapes, that was so awesome. That was great. Still haven't responded. So I'm gonna take whatever I need to until you remember you got my dang number. How about that?
All I'm gonna say, Alan, is they got therapy for things like that, big fella. That was 6 months ago. Are you still hanging on to that?
I'm still hanging on.
I've never saved your number, so
see, man,
random number, and I
that's
thought it
crazy.
was one of them spam calls or something like that.
No, that's crazy. I said, hey, Drake, it's Alan.
He knows a lot of people.
I love you, man.
Yeah.
All right.
Drapes knows a lot of people.
I know, Drapes. I know. Drapes, you do like what you're seeing from Daquan Plowden. Is it, I don't want to say confusing at all, because it's funny in different sports what your prime years are. Now, Daquan's 27, and I think last night some Kings fans were maybe a bit confused because you got Precious, who's 26, and Plowden, who's 27, when they're looking at the future. What do you think about Daquan Plowden and where he, I guess, could fit on this Kings team the next couple years or so?
No, you said it, man. I think he could be a piece the next, 3 to 5 years. You talk about a player's prime. The thing about today's NBA your prime is longer than it used to be. Your prime used to be 28 to 32, 33. Now it's 24 to 32. And so Daquan still got about a good 4 or 5 years in his prime, and he doesn't have a whole lot of miles on his tires. And one thing going back to Summer League, Doug Christie's always been high on this guy. I remember sitting there with him, and I believe I came on the show, Whitey, and talked about it. Like he said, that guy right there, I'm going to have to offer him a contract. And so this is before a two-way deal or anything like that. And the thing I love about Daquan Plowden and calling his games here recently, he's stepping up in the fourth quarter. You know what I mean? He had, 11 in the fourth quarter to lead the Kings last night. A few games ago out there in Memphis, he had 10 in the fourth quarter, and he's competing defensively. And so, I think Kings fans and NBA fans, we're so, enamored with the unknown draft picks. You know what I mean? Like the 19-year-olds, the 18, the 20-year-olds. Like this guy, to me, is an NBA player, and why not? If you're Sacramento, you've had success finding some undrafted players, some diamonds in the rough, if you will. Why not want to hang on to one of them for a chance? You know what I mean? Yep. So I like what I'm seeing from Daquan.
You know what I like, Drapes, and you've been doing a great job, obviously, on the telecast. We appreciate that. I know you're really just obviously more concerned with the play-by-play, but watching the games on NBC Sports California, not enough graphics. If you guys could add some more sprite scoreboard, splashboard, and the names of the players underneath them in a circle when they're dribbling up the floor, if we could add a little more of that, Drapes, I think that'd go a long ways. Can you do something about that?
I will say this. When I do the play-by-play, because the nature of things, I actually can't see the graphics. I can't see all the, the names and things like that. And, NBC, obviously, I got some loyalties there. They're my employer and everything. But why we're trying to do too much now. I think we're trying to reinvent the wheel. Nobody was saying, sitting at home, oh, man, I wish I knew that was Daquan Plowden standing over there in the corner. Like, can you show me that? And so it's just like, you got some guys in offices with some computers and some apps that could do funky things. And I'm not a fan. I did watch it during the one game I did pre and post the other day, the Memphis game, as a matter of fact. And they're trying out some new things, but I'm old school, man. I don't need to see it. If I'm watching, I know who has the ball.
Right.
I know when DeMar DeRozan is dribbling the back. I don't need that. So that's just my opinion.
Good answer. Yeah. Bless you for going there. Thank you.
You went there. I had to go there when you went there. Thanks.
Drapes, another guy that a lot of people are excited about, and I mentioned it in my first question, Precious Achiuwa. What do you make of what Precious is doing? Career night for him last night. There's some naysayers out there that are looking at the Kings and maybe saying, hey, are they getting everybody's best shot? Of course, doing it against a Mavericks team, or Najee Marshall looked like LeBron last night as well. But do you think when we have a conversation about bringing Precious back, do you think he's done enough to where he could have some choices this offseason? Or do you feel as if it's probably a situation where the Kings will have the upper hand if they want him, and, other teams or a number of teams being after him would be a bit surprising?
No, I think he'll actually have some choices, Alan. I think, what he's shown us here in Sacramento sort of reminded people. Let's not forget, this guy was a McDonald's All-American. Played the 1 year at Memphis, came in and, had an actually solid start to his career. When you look at some of his numbers and, the second year averaged 9 points, third year averaged 9 points, and then all of a sudden fell into a tough situation. Toronto gave up on him. And so I like Precious Achiuwa. And the thing is, and I don't think we knew this, and I think it's been a bonus for us this season, he's getting after it defensively. He's being asked to guard, Kevin Durant, which nobody can do. We know that. But we see him guarding some of the best players in the league. And when I talked to him about that, I'm like, dude, Doug is throwing you into the fire against some of the best players. He said, I actually love that because that gets me engaged in the game, locked in right from the jump. And then his basketball IQ has been pretty good as well. in terms of how to play off DeMar, how to play off Russ, how to play in this system. And so I'm with you, man. I would hate to lose Precious. Scott Perry has said, this is an evaluation season. He's evaluating everyone. Well, Precious Achiuwa is one of the top 3 or 4 finds, bright spots in this season, I think, so far.
Mm-hmm. Kyle Draper with us. Tell us about Devin Carter. Obviously not shooting the ball well. That jump shot, I remember you and I doing our shows out at the arena, and we'd see him warming up, and he'd take that moon jump shot from 30 feet. It's not there right now. But other than that, if he can figure that out, get in the lab, figure that out, he's doing some nice things right now, isn't he, other than the jump shot?
Yeah. And when I watch Devin Carter play, let's start on the offensive side of the ball. The knock on him early in his career has been, all right, he's over-penetrating. He's penetrating and not looking to pass. He's only singularly focused on scoring. Now I'm starting to see him mix in the pass. To your point about the three-point shot, I know he's been working with Jimmy Alapag. One thing, the assistant coach, and one thing Jimmy told him is, dude, you don't have to hesitate or second-guess yourself on that three-point shot. And they went over some film. People are not closing out on him tight. They're closing out on him short. And so he has to be ready to pull that. And so it's not falling as of yet. But, one thing we know about Devin, at least by the way he carries himself, he's full of swag. He's full of confidence. And so he just needs to get more reps. And we saw it last night getting the start. It's crazy to think, though, guys. Here we are, his second year. Obviously, he missed half of his first year. But it's crazy to think he's a lottery pick and has only made the second start of his career last night. Like, when you look at the way the season has gone, how it ended last season, you would have thought this guy would have been given, a little bit more opportunity to show what he can do. Maybe this last 21 games or so will show it. And then defensively, one thing about Devin that the coaches are trying to tell him is, dude, you could still impact the game defensively. And I thought we saw that last night, fellas. I thought some of his pressure, he had some steals last night. The offense, Doug talks about it all the time. Shots will make or miss. What travels is defense and effort and hustle, and that's what he can do. I hope we're not trying to pigeonhole him into being a point guard because, as we all know, he's just a ball player. He's just a guard that can do a little bit of everything.
Yeah, and to your point, he did have 5 assists last night. So, he's definitely looking to share a little bit more. Yeah. Something Allen should try when he plays.
Well, no, we're going to talk. Don't get me started on that one, buddy. Drapes, Keegan Murray, unfortunately, goes down with an ankle. It's just been a season riddled with injuries for him. Whitey and I were going back and forth on when he is ready to go. Could be, 15 games left, maybe 20, whatever it is. Drapes, I'm of the mindset at this point, sometimes it's just not your day or not your season. I would probably just tell him to chill and get ready for next season. Whitey says if you're healthy, get back on the court. Well, where do you stand with the Keegan Murray conversation?
Yeah, that might be one of those things I leave up to Keegan, to be honest with you, and see how he feels. And, maybe he wants to finish the season strong, get an early start on the off season. It's kind of been a lost season for him. Doug talked about it yesterday, that he's only had 40 days of basketball, whether it's practice or games, this entire season. We're talking, 150, 180 days in a season, and he's only, participated in 40 of them. I'll probably leave it up to Keegan, to be honest with you. Maybe give him 10 games. He's out for the next 2 weeks or will be reevaluated. So you're talking mid-March. Now we're looking at to late March. And so by that point, you got, 3 weeks left? Maybe you shut him down. But I might defer to Keegan on this one.
Mm-hmm. Tell us, Drapes, about the 2 new guys. I know it's a very tough situation, especially for Killian Hayes on a 10-day. How difficult is it for PBJ and Killian Hayes to come in and make an impression? And have you seen any glimpses of anything? Is there still hope for them to, before the 10 days expires for Killian, that he can still show, hey, I can still play at this level?
Yeah, when you look at Killian Hayes, that 10 days is coming up pretty soon. I think only, 2 more days, 2 more games, left for him to prove what he can do. The thing about him is we look at the numbers from the G League and how he lit it up, but then on the big stage, the shot isn't falling. And so it's definitely hard to come in. I think, with Russell Westbrook out, with his thigh contusion yesterday, that gave him some more minutes. I wouldn't be surprised to see Killian Hayes get, another 20 minutes or so Sunday against the Lakers. I mean, this dude was the former number 7 overall pick. I do like his ability to run the team. You talk about assists. He had a nice assist game, I think it was last night.
Mm-hmm.
And so his shot just isn't falling. But I just don't think he looks comfortable as of yet. That's hard, and that's one of the things, as Doug Christie during pregame yesterday, is, you're this late in the season, and you're asking these guys to come in. Like, how tough is it for them? And it's no doubt difficult. But the thing about Killian Hayes and Patrick Baldwin, they're not only auditioning for Sacramento, they're auditioning for all the other 29 teams in the league as well. And so with Killian, it may not work here, but if you have a good showing, maybe somebody else in the offseason will pick you up. Regarding Patrick Baldwin Jr., I mean, he's listed as 7 feet, guys. A 7-foot guy that supposedly can shoot. We just haven't seen enough of him yet. And I'd like to see him, get 25, 30 minutes, get up some shots. I know he's on a 2-way deal, but it expires after the season. So this last 21 games for him, huge in terms of evaluating what he can do. And so, but it's hard right now because think about it. They're not the only young players trying to make their mark. You got Plowden trying to do his thing, Carter, Max Reynaud, Neat Clifford. Like, you got a roster full of young players trying to make their mark and show Scott Perry something. So it's almost like Summer League, right, where it's kind of hard to really showcase your what you can do in a system, while also it looks like the guys are trying to win games too. So I think it's tough for them.
Drapes, you've been on record talking about the professionalism from DeMar and Russell Westbrook. The buyout conversation essentially ends for us today because the deadline is Sunday night unless something changes. It seems like those guys are going to be with the team for the rest of the season. Are you surprised at all at how all of this played out, or did you feel as if it made sense just throughout the season, you being kind of close-knit to the group? Did it seem as if the vets, if you want to call them that, DeMar and Westbrook, were maybe going to stick it out and enjoy what they're doing with the Kings as those kind of elder statesmen?
No, I think let's start with DeMar. I think, he wants to play all 82. He started every single game and played every single game. And, they're true professionals, true vets. DeMar is not going to make waves or anything like that. It's a tough situation that he's in. But you also got to remember, these are 2 L.A. guys. They're close to home as well. Like, even if they are getting bought out, what if, let's say OKC or somebody, do they want to go, and they have young children, I might add, they got young kids too. And so I think at this stage of their careers, they understand, being available as a parent. That's one of the reasons why, Russ wanted to come back here to the West Coast, why he played with the Clippers, the Lakers, and now the Sacramento Kings. And so, am I surprised? No, because I don't think even in Clipperland and Denver, I think Russ gets a bad rap publicly. When I watch him privately working with the young guys, I think he's at this stage. Hey, man, he's got the green light. He's got the keys to the team. He can mentor these young guys. Sure, everybody wants to play for a championship, but Russ has a pretty good in terms of playing minutes. DeMar, same way, playing minutes at this stage of their career.
Mm-hmm. Before we let you go, Drapes, what do you have for us from your road trip that you can share? I know Jay was going to ask that about Drapes' travels.
I tell you what, boys, I tell you what, I was in Austin, Texas. And hey, Austin is a slept on. Hey, if you ain't been to Austin, Texas, and haven't hit up 6th Street, go check it out. And then I was in Houston, staying at the Post Oak Hotel. Beautiful. Had a great time. And then Dallas is a great city as well. A new appreciation for Texas. I will say this, though. Being in Texas illustrates to me just what kind of bubble we live here in California. Mm-hmm. Like, it's full on political season down there in Texas. I think they have primaries this week or something like that are coming up, and the number of political ads, dude, I was like, oh my gosh, I had to get away from that. Like, I'm trying to focus on the game, the beautiful weather, the beautiful people, and I'm being hit over the head with political ads. They are full blown into politics. We kind of live in a bubble up here in Northern California.
Well, when are you going to run for something?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I got too much stuff in my past, man. The way they digging things up nowadays, man, please. Yeah. I would love to, man. My heart is always in the right place, Whitey. But I will say I got some things coming up in the works, man. I'm excited about, and told Jay about a little something coming up. And so your boy will be out there a little more in the public eye here these next few weeks.
All right. We look forward to that. Thanks, Drapes. We appreciate it. Are you on the call Sunday?
Pre and post Sunday and Tuesday, and then on the call Thursday.
All right, we'll be watching. Thank you. Have a good weekend. We appreciate it.
Talk to you soon.
Yeah,
thanks, Drapes.
Kyle Draper.
Great stuff from Drapes. I meant to ask him about Daquan, and we always joke about how he likes his cheesesteak, Drapes, because I think he's a ketchup guy too. But speaking of, we're talking sandwiches here. Speaking of PBJ, yeah, Whitey, I think I needed to be reminded. I mean, the brother played 6 minutes, and has he taken a three on the Kings?
Not that I recall.
That's what I'm saying.
It's only the 2 games, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I just don't know what he is supposed to do. And again, I'm not putting anything on Doug, but in a and some of that is also on you.
Yeah, 0 for 2.
He took and the Rockets game he took 2.
Yeah.
He took 2, and he did play 20. He did play 21 minutes against the Rockets, and he played 6 against the Grizz, and I think that was
you
more
want to talk
about,
plus minus?
I don't care about plus minus, and
good for you.
I don't care about plus minus unless it helps my argument. But yeah, I mean that's partly
plus 6 last night. Then you want to
think about it like this, though.
We won't talk about the other game.
Keegan goes down, and Patrick Baldwin Jr. plays 6 minutes. I mean, again, I'm not sitting here thinking that this guy is going to be the savior for the next 7 years or whatever, but it's also, well, what is he supposed to do?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what is he supposed to do?
Killian Hayes is just from a clinical standpoint so interesting because I think his assist to turnovers is like incredible, but he's not making shots, and he just seems like he's almost playing too slow.
But that's what I'm telling you. He's D'Angelo Russell.
But it's like, hello.
Right, but D'Angelo Russell had an NBA contract.
Yeah.
D'Angelo Russell made his money already, right? Or he was on actual contracts. You can't play like that, Killian, when you're trying to make a squad.
Mm-hmm.
It's the too cool thing. All these guys, they're, they are shades of, they play like Shea, but they're not Shea. Like, only SGA can play like that because he's one of the best in the league.
I think in 2 games, I believe he has 10 assists and no turnovers, which is, that stands out. But everything else is kind of like, nothing doing.
Yeah, and you can tell what he's doing because I've definitely been in that position, obviously at a much lower level. But he's definitely trying to get that because, Whitey, I don't know about you, but for me, a bit of a streaky shooter. I need that first. I need the first 2 or 3
assists and 1 turnover. Yeah,
I need the first. He's trying to just get it out the way.
Yeah,
so he gets that confidence.
That's a little yippee, Allen.
But then he misses 1.
That's a little yippee.
2, it's not yippee. He's just not a good shooter. That's the difference. Now, if PBJ can't hit anything, then that might be yippee ki-yay.
Mm-hmm.
He can shoot.
Yeah, Kings taking on the Lakers on Sunday. Kings are bad, but at least the Lakers stink. Maybe that's some comfort if you're a Laker fan. And I know you look at the standings. No, they're pretty good. The Lakers' offensive rating when they have Luka and LeBron and Reeves on the floor, their offensive rating is 106.7, which is like Indiana has the worst offensive rating in the league, and that's 108.7. Mm-hmm. So when those 3 they're big threes on the floor and they played 213 minutes together, it doesn't work.
No. It doesn't. And look, Rich Paul was getting himself in trouble with that podcast with Max Kellerman, but he said it doesn't work.
Mm-hmm.
But you're not going to trade somebody when LeBron's on a 1-year deal.
When they have those 3 on the floor, Luka and LeBron and Reeves, their net rating is minus 8.4.
Nobody plays defense.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They're a really bad defensive team.
Nobody plays defense, and
Luka, tough loss last night.
Yeah. Luka and Austin Reeves are clearly not the same, but they are redundant enough that, I don't know. The Lakers is very peculiar what they're going to do. I guess at this point, they're just looking forward to when LeBron moves, and then those two will be the cornerstones, and then you go find yourself another big wing. That's when you go get Trey Murphy or something. I don't know.
Luka's catching a lot of flack lately for his total lack of defense.
Right.
It was getting worse. And it's interesting, another tough loss for them last night against the Suns of all teams. And Coach Redick, he's smart. He says, oh, well, when we lose a game, it's magnified. And they are 6th in the West right now. But learned observers look at that team and go, that's not a championship team. And the Lakers are supposed to be about championships.
What does this say? And by the way, that's what people do say, though. Nico Harrison wasn't wrong. He just made the wrong deal. I don't know that I agree with that, but that's what people said. Tell me this much, though. Where are we and how different of a league or an association is the NBA right now? If you were to tell somebody, I know LeBron's older, but if you were to tell somebody, yeah, the Lakers are going to have Luka, if you were to tell somebody 3 years ago, the Lakers are going to have Luka, LeBron at 38, whatever he is, and Austin Reeves and DeAndre Ayton, I know to a lesser degree, and they're going to be 6th in the West, and nobody's going to be talking about them to win the title, you'd think, what the heck happened? And that all comes back to why Adam Silver's got to stop the tanking. He said, no, my plan was ruined. I got Luka on the Lakers. We're supposed to be running the championships. We're supposed to produce Winning Time Part 3 on HBO. But it's not like that anymore, Adam.
It's not.
It's not. Think about that. We would have said, oh, the game is broken. Them brothers a 6 seed.
Mm-hmm. So you think as angry as Adam Silver would have us believe he is about tanking, he's really more angry about the fact that he went to all the trouble of engineering a deal that would send Luka to the Lakers, and they still stink.
And they stink. They stinking up the joint. They're going to be in the play-in. He's going to, you can't have, you got Steph and LeBron in the play-in.
They're one game ahead of Phoenix.
Steph, LeBron, and Luka in the play-in, that is a commissioner's nightmare.
It is. No wonder he's so upset.
If I would be, you know what? Damn you, Jazz. It's your fault. Blame it on the Jazz and the Kings, Adam.
How tough would it be to be a Mavs fan right now with everything you've been through in the last year and a half?
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing again?
I
just want to know what's going on.
They got to lose, and they got to lose quick. See, they got to get Cooper a buddy. Because Cooper and Najee Marshall not really, making it pop.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Dallas right now, as far as the draft would be, they're in the 7th spot. So they have a 32% shot at a top 4 pick and a 7.5% shot at number 1 overall.
That's all they needed last year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, you can get at 7, you go get a point guard and you go flip Kyrie for something, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of these teams, that's the problem, though. Kyrie's making 30-something a year. A lot of teams don't have that type of cap space to move.
Here's what we have. Allen's Intel is coming up. Now, I think that's kind of like a shot of Styles, but it's a little different because I'm not sure why, but I'm looking forward to finding out.
Why.
I'm looking forward to finding out. Allen's Intel on DeMar, what's keeping him in sack, and for how long? Next on Sactown Sports.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Out of Keegan, going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it. Keegan, can he do it? Yes, there's number 11, Keegan Murray. Keegan steps back. He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points.
Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with Sactown Sports and the Sactown Sports app.
Never have I ever called my sister from the finish line of my first marathon.
Hello?
You won't believe where I am.
Are you running?
Mile 26. I'm gonna make it.
Switch to T-Mobile's 55 Plus plan and get iPhone 16e with its advanced camera system on us. Plus, 2 lines for just $30 a line.
Guys, I can't believe it.
I knew you could do it, babe.
That was amazing. Mom, how do you feel?
I feel great. I can't feel my feet. Let's take a picture, and then you may carry me to the car.
Share every stride, every mile, every memory on America's best network. Switch to T-Mobile's 55 Plus plan and get iPhone 16e on us and 2 lines for just $30 a line.
With 24 monthly bill credits and 2 eligible port-ins on Essentials 55 Plus for well-qualified customers with autopay plus taxes, fees, and $35 device connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Contact us. Finance agreement 128 gigabytes, $599.99 required. Best mobile network in the U.S. based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence data 1H 2025. Visit T-Mobile.com.
Get ready, Sacramento. The Sacramento Boat Show and Big RV Show is taking over Cal Expo March 5th through March 8th. It's 2 huge shows, 1 massive event. Don't miss it. Get details now at 2hugeshows.com.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
What makes you so different than the rest of us?
We ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Tell me more.
Our investment counselors focus on service over sales, prioritizing clients' needs.
How do you make money?
We don't sell any commission-based products. We have a simple management fee based on the value of our clients' portfolio. So we do better when our clients do better.
What about client portfolios?
We get to know each client, their finances, family, health, lifestyle, and more, and then we tailor a portfolio based on their specific goals and needs.
Your clients really come first then, huh?
Yes, we make them a top priority. Our goal is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement.
Wow, maybe we are different.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Co-hosts of the wildly popular Bad Friends podcast, Andrew Santino and Bobby Lee.
Wow, I can't even believe that this is real right now.
Yeah, dude.
I feel like this is a scam. It's going to explode on you.
No.
Live Saturday, March 14th, the venue at Thunder Valley.
Do you know what the 3 colors on the Irish flag stand for?
What?
The hair, the skin, the soul.
Oh, is that what liquor does to your soul?
Yeah, turns you green.
Buy tickets now. Visit ThunderValleyResort.com. Andrew Santino and Bobby Lee.
Oh, this is like...
That's top notch.
To 15-year-old Harper, buying an $80 vintage rock t-shirt is a great investment. To Harper's mom, this logic has a few holes in it. So she helped Harper open a Wells Fargo Clear Access banking account. With no overdraft fees and tools to track spending, Harper's learning. One heavy metal tee at a time. However you make money work, Wells Fargo can work with that.
Terms apply. Visit wellsfargo.com/deposit disclosures for fees and details.
Hurry in and save big during Honda's President's Day sales event at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Hurry in and save on our best selection of new Hondas. Each is priced to sell now. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop for great pricing on a giant selection of new CRVs, HRVs, Civics, and Accords with low finance and lease options. Plus, get an instant cash offer for your trade. Get to Folsom Lake Honda or go to FolsomLakeHonda.com.
Folsom Lake Honda. Yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
The Drive Guys with Kevin Gleason and Alan Stiles on Sactown Sports 1140.
Shh. Alan's Intel is coming up. It's kind of like Shot of Styles, but different. I'm still learning some of this stuff. Do you like mysteries?
I do.
Before we get to, I'm looking forward to what you have for us. We got to get to the phones as well. Got a mystery at Whitey Woods. We got, for the last week or so, one room in the house is like, it smells fishy in here. Now, like a day or two before, Sheena had made she'd prepared a shrimp dish. So first I thought, and this is in the back of the house, I thought, all right, somehow the oil or something, we got this smell in the back of the house. It's like fishy smell, but it's persistent. And now it's kind of shifted into one of the other rooms. And so yesterday, Alan, I thought there's something dead under the house.
Oh.
I gotta go under there.
Oh.
So which I've done.
You went under yourself?
Oh, all the time.
How do you get under a house?
All the time. The crawl space?
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah.
No.
I've been in there. One time I had to go in there with the federal trapper. We were looking for a skunk, but we didn't find it. So anyway, I go under there, and I know I've been under there a lot, so I know the lay of the land, and I know where the area is. All right, this is the room. I get over there, and I just don't see anything, and I don't really smell anything. So come back up. And I don't know what it is. So I look it up online, fishy smell. And besides, it was, there is a definitely a particular smell with something that's decomposing, not to be indelicate. This is definitely like, it's like a fishy smell. So I go on what I call the internet, and I'm looking it up, and I find out that if you have a fishy smell coming from your walls, sometimes that's because your electrical wires are overheating and you could have a fire.
Oh, my goodness.
So I'm like checking everything, like checking the outlets. Is everything warm? I don't think it's that, Alan. I don't know what it is. I don't know if something under the house got, we had the rain. We have a pier foundation. Obviously, if I'm crawling around, some of the insulation got wet and there's some sort of odd smell from that. I just don't know what it is. I get to the point where it's like, I want to get rid of this and I can't figure out the cause.
I would run it back. I know people have their feelings about AI, but I would run it back with ChatGPT. Same search that you were doing, but if you go to ChatGPT, it'll get more in depth for you, and it'll help. It'll help. If you can't do ChatGPT, you got to call somebody.
Okay, yeah,
that's all I got for you.
I've pulled many a critter out from under there, Alan, and I don't think that's it. And that's an easy fix. It's no fun, but it's like, all right, got it, we're good. Possum or what have you.
We're not doing that.
Do it all the time.
We're not doing that. Crawl space.
Yes.
I mean, I watch scary movies. I'm not coming out.
We had a skunk that was nesting under our house, and we were getting our ductwork redone. And the workers come out and they go, well, we can't finish today. Why not? There's a skunk under there, and we can't finish till you get the skunk out. So I called the federal trapper, and he comes out, and he goes, we got to go under there and maybe get it out of there. And he goes, you're going to have to help me.
Why?
He gave me overalls, and he gave me this pole with like like a big needle on the tip, and it had like poison on it.
You get a discount?
And he goes, well, this was the federal guy. He didn't work for the.
Oh, no.
Yeah. And he goes, all right, if you see it, you got to.
No, come on.
And now she wasn't there that day. And to this day, I think he knew she wouldn't be there, and I think he was just messing with me.
No,
but
man.
Yeah.
If they tried to tell me that, I'd say I need another federal trapper. Who works the next shift? We're going to just try this again. We're going to try this again. I'm not going down there.
I guess I could have said, well, do it yourself, but I kind of wanted to, see what would happen.
Are you out of your mind?
I was glad I wasn't there. That would have been hard for me to like.
Yeah. I mean,
that would have been difficult.
I changed the windshield wipers and I walk in. Back in
your high five.
I'm the man. I'm the man. I'm the. You know what I mean? That's what it is. Under the house.
Do you remember Ricky Henderson's speech when he set the stolen base record? When I had to stop doing this because my family got so sick of it. And to this day, they're sick. My daughter, Lonnie, is sick of me talking about it. When I would do something, fix something electrical or plumbing, I would say, Lou Brock was a great bass stealer, but today, I am the greatest of all time.
That's right.
Yeah. And
that's right.
Okay.
I'm telling you. Look, the older I get, I got the family now, I have to do more manly things, but I got limits. I got to do more manly things. The spider, you safely remove the spider. Whatever it is, you change the light. I got
moving a spider.
I got to fix what's it called? I got to fix the fire alarm. Right, it's beeping. Needs new batteries.
You ever replaced the ballast on a fluorescent fixture?
I don't even know what you just said. I don't even know what you just said. The car. There's something with the car. Yeah, let me look at the car.
Okay,
I'll look. Then I'll call. The crawl space. Come on, man. So you're just military crawling? Are you serious?
And then there's the ductwork. You got to crawl over the ductwork and the floor is right above you. Not much space there, Alan.
No, this whole thing, because one of the first times I went back home to where my wife lives, her dad, we were just dating at the time. He goes, hey, I got to take some ductwork in. We were getting new ductwork. We got to take ductwork in. I'm thinking, I don't even know what I got Vans on with no socks in the middle of Pennsylvania, and he's taking me to get this ductwork, which I don't know what that is. But now I have to pretend, so I'll tell her.
Was he testing you?
I think so.
You failed?
So now I'll tell her when I do something manly to tell her father, hey, I just did this, just so you know, we're good. But he always kind of one-ups me. Just little stuff too. Like I brought up car washes. And he goes, yeah, I just kind of think that's a waste of money. I've always washed my own car. Yeah, I don't really. Did I say I don't? I've watched them before. You know, it's just right down the street.
Yeah.
That's a problem.
339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. Dwayne has been hanging on. Dwayne, how are you? Happy Friday.
Hey, what's up to homies?
What's up, Dwayne? You were on the line last time, Dwayne.
Yeah. Your toe was on the line.
Your toe was on the line before fights, and we got move away from the line, Dwayne.
But go ahead. What do you got? Yeah.
Hey, man, I think Drapes has been drinking, man. I mean, damn.
No.
One, didn't he bring up McDonald's All-American game, bro? I mean, Jesus Christ, what does that mean, bro? Wasn't that high school? I can name 100 guys who haven't done anything that played the McDonald's All-American game. Two, did he really tell Devin Carter to shoot the three? Oh, my God, bro. That shot puts a hurt on my vision, bro. That shot is broken. They haven't even taken the time to fix the man's shot. So he must be saying that because he's down with the tank. And three, Keegan Murray, bro. I keep looking at that play where he got hurt. I don't see much, bro. I keep looking at it over and over, and I don't see anything, bro. So at the end of the day, bro, Keegan Murray just wound up being another soft-ass light skin.
Well, he twisted his... Yeah, I think Dwayne is...
He's in timeout.
Yeah.
Yeah, we tried to tell him.
Yeah.
And then I think he got worse. Yeah. Got to shut it down.
He's tanking his calls for some reason.
He is.
I don't know why.
That's 2 in a row.
Yeah. He's tanking his calls.
Borderline.
It's kind of 2.5 because even that one, we told him every time we try to tell him,
right,
it gets worse.
Mm-hmm. Alan, I apologize. We will get to Alan's intel.
We will.
Yeah, we will definitely get to that. Thank you for your help with the...
You want to talk about duck work?
Yeah, I know. I'm just trying to solve that mystery. I know. That's on me. Nasser Navaroni, former world kickboxing champion. He's promoting Thunder Showdown 4. We'll talk to him all about that. Give you a chance to win some tickets, too, next on Sactown Sports.
Listen to the #1 sports lineup in Sacramento.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Matt George, and Kayla Anderson. The Drive Guys with Kevin Gleason and Alan Stiles.
Every weekday live and local 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Online at SactownSports.com or download the app right on your phone. Your #1 source for all your Northern California sports. Sactown Sports 1140.
It's Friday. Johnny Mosley here with your Toyota Tower Report. Toyota and I are breaking down the latest weather and mountain updates so you can roll into the weekend fully prepared. Maybe even looking like you planned ahead.
Thanks, Johnny. The best day of the week up in Tahoe. Mostly sunny, light winds and a high near 55 degrees. Tonight, lows around 31. Looking ahead to Saturday, mostly cloudy with a chance of afternoon rain. This report is brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. Toyota, let's go places.
There are many reasons to choose Gonzalez Law Offices as a dedicated trial lawyer with an undefeated record from 2016 through 2019, and you'll know that no case is too big or too small. Due to his success, hard work, and commitment to excellence, attorney Jonathan Gonzalez has been listed in Super Lawyers Rising Stars as well as in the top 40 under 40 list by national trial lawyers. You can find Gonzalez Law Office online at saclegaldefense.com or call him at 916-304-9187.
I can't believe how spotless my floors look after using the Swiffer Power Mop. No more dragging around a heavy mop and messy bucket. Now I get the same deep clean without all the work. Thanks to the powerful solution and scrubbing pad of the Swiffer Power Mop, dirt and grime don't stand a chance, and I don't break a sweat. Mic drop. Mop drop.
Swiffer Power Mop. Swiffer Power Mop.
A smarter way to mop. Try it or your money back.
Think Verizon is expensive? Think again. Anyone can bring their AT&T or T-Mobile bill to a Verizon store today and we'll give you a better deal. So bring us your bill. Walk in, run in, pogo stick in, teleport if you can. Ride on the back of a rollerblading yak or fly in on the wings of a majestic falcon. Any way you can, bring your AT&T or T-Mobile bill to a Verizon store today, and we'll give you a better deal on the best network. Based on RootMetrics Best Overall Mobile Network Performance, U.S. Second Half 2025, all rights reserved. Must provide very recent postpaid consumer mobile bill in the name of the person redeeming the deal. Additional terms, conditions, and restrictions apply.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Sacramento will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit revivemenshealth.com.
The Sactown Sports 1140 newsletter. Right to your email. Get your latest on the Sacramento Kings, UC Davis, and Sac State with the Sactown Sports 1140 newsletter. Visit SactownSports.com to join.
Capital Casino is conveniently located in downtown, 411 16th Street, and has been a part of the greater Sacramento area for over 20 years. They offer the best variety of games in the region in a safe and friendly environment, and there's plenty of parking, all well lit and monitored by security. Come have a great meal at the cafe and restaurant inside. Capital Casino has the best food, the best service, and the best action, but please always remember to gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Download the app and listen to The Drive Guys.
The Drive Guys with Kevin Gleason and Alan Stiles.
On Sactown Sports 1140.
Brandon Nunes joins us top of the hour with more on the victorious Kings. Also, bottom of the next hour, Tony Jones from The Athletic. He's the one that, he covers the Jazz, and he wrote a really fascinating piece about tanking, why the Jazz are upset about the league's anti-tanking measures and what it means for small market teams like the Kings. Right now, we turn our attention back to Thunder Showdown 4. That's coming up at the venue at Thunder Valley, Saturday, March 7th. We're going to give you a chance to win some tickets in just a moment here. But first, nice enough to join us, former world kickboxing champion, Uppercut Promotions. He's promoting the fight. We welcome back to Sactown Sports, Nasser Nivaroni. How you doing today, Nasser?
Good, my friend. How are you?
We're doing well, and we appreciate your time very much. We appreciate the chance to promote, local boxing, but I do have to ask you, what really stands out about this card, upcoming Thunder Showdown 4?
I tell you, Kevin, a lot of times you can have good fighters, but if you don't have good matchups, you're not going to have good fights. And that's what we have on March 7th. We have some of the best matchups I've done in the last 10 years. I feel that good about this card.
Nasser, I always think about the big fights, and they're in Vegas or New York or out of the country. Can you talk about how unique it is to have a situation like this in Sacramento, and it's available for a lot of people to see, and to see a live combat sport that isn't that easily available typically? How cool is it to have an opportunity to go see fighters and really immerse yourself and maybe warm yourself up to seeing boxing on that level, because it's not really that easy to see compared to other sports out there?
You're 100% right, and here we have a lot of local prospects. I'm trying to bring a champion back to Sacramento like the glory days with Tony the Tiger Lopez. And I got a lot of these young prospects that maybe weren't on the Olympic team or didn't get recruited by a major promotional company worldwide, but they're getting the opportunity to fight and prove themselves and move up the rankings. It's a family environment. A lot of these kids are local, so they'll bring their family. And what I do is I match them up with guys from Houston, L.A., Long Beach, Ontario. So we got like a home team battling guys from out of town. It's just a different environment for fight business.
Nasser Nivaroni, nice enough to join us promoting Thunder Showdown 4 at the venue at Thunder Valley. To that point, Nasser, I think that's really interesting. I know that that's part of what you do. You're putting cards together, putting fighters together. How tricky can that get when you're called a matchmaker, when you're deciding who you're going to get to fight each opponent?
Well, what I've done now in the last few years, I don't work with guys who just want to fight an easy win. I'll just put those guys aside. All the fighters on this card, they don't even question who they're going to fight. And that's what's so unique. So what I do is I match them up with their 50-50 fights. And this kid's got to win the fight to advance and get to the next level, to the championship level. I've had in the past a kid like Amari Jones. He fought in Sacramento multiple times for me. Now he just recently signed with Golden Boy Promotion, and he was on pay-per-view. Same with a local kid, Kane Sandoval. He just had a main event on Zuffa Boxing. So some of these kids you're going to see down the road, possibly on a pay-per-view card, where you got to see them now when they're getting started.
Nasser, in the media world, as I'm sure you're aware, things have changed a little bit. You know, it's all about the type of following you have, and that can change your opportunities, right? Bigger platforms want you if you have a big platform yourself and you're going to bring followers. How has the boxing game changed when you look at I got to talk about them, the Jake Pauls and the Logan Pauls. How has that changed the direction of promotion when you're trying to schedule some of these guys? Do you find that boxers now are more so chasing the guys that can pull in the type of profit that these streamers and guys like that do? Or is there still an inherent nature that, I'm trying to face the best fighter I can and the rest will come after that?
100%. I mean, a lot of these guys are looking for that opportunity to fight a big name, but a lot like the other sports, you got to work your way up. You got to pay your dues at this level, win the fights you're supposed to win, work your way up to an 8-10 round fight, and then one of those big opportunities, who knows, they might knock on your door.
Hey, Nasser, one of the fighters that's, one of the bigger names in Sacramento right now is Blake McKernan. He's definitely fought on a couple of Thunder Showdown cards, and he was in the team boxing league. What's the update on Blake, man? Can we expect him on the bigger and better terms, or what's the move? Can you give us a little inside? Sources tell you something?
I hope so. We're working with Blake. Unfortunately, he was injured during the last fight he had, but he managed to fight with one arm and get a draw. And now he's recovering, and we're looking forward to bringing him back. I see good things for Blake coming up in the future.
Nasser, I know you're focusing on promoting now, but you were a very successful boxer and also very successful kickboxer. Why is that combination so rare?
Well, I come from a kickboxing background. I traveled the world with a world champion, Dennis Alexio, heavyweight world champion. So just my experience with kickboxing, as you see the mixed martial arts is kind of taking off and is a little bit of competition for boxing. But I have a little background in both. Mm-hmm. I'm able to bring that excitement. You get some of the kickboxing, mixed martial arts fights into the boxing match and boxing game.
Which do you enjoy more?
Oh, I love them both. I mean, I'm in a boxing now. We're talking big stuff. And I had a kid that almost made it to the world title, Eric the Hitman Regan, if you guys recall, a few years back. So that dream's still there. I'm still chasing it.
Nasser, we're giving away tickets to the Thunder Showdown, but for those that win tickets or go out and buy some, which specific fight do you think someone that's going to be in the building on March 7th should they keep an eye on?
I'd say this is no joke. I was having a hard time deciding who we're going to put on the main event. How do we line up? Every fight is so exciting, but I'm looking forward to the main event, Sergio Gonzalez versus Christian Seals. This kid has never been stopped coming up from L.A. He's got a nice record. Our guy, Sergio Gonzalez, local, he's undefeated. He's knocked out everybody's face. So a little bit of this other kid's never been knocked out or stopped. So we'll see if Sergio can keep the streak going. I'd say our main event's going to be outstanding.
Hey, Double N, one of the guys that I'm super excited to see as I'm putting myself in the building per usual. So, we hook a brother up type thing. Now playing.
Awesome. We'd love to have you, brother.
Julian Bridges. Love Julian Bridges. Good dude. Super, super, super exciting. Can you speak to Julian and how he's rocking right now and how he's looking forward to his fight?
100%. This kid has pulled an upset already. He was on a Top Rank show. We put him on a Top Rank show about a year ago. He faced the guy that he was supposed to lose to, but he pulled an upset and beat that kid. So he's exciting. And you know what? The night of the fight, he's even better. One of those kids that he may not be that good in the gym, but the night of the fight, he's just a warrior. So we're expecting good things from him. But we got a local Sacramento kid facing him named William Davis. Man, that fight's a 50-50 toss-up. I mean, Julian's got to bring everything he's got to get past this kid, William Davis. He's no joke.
It's Thunder Showdown 4, the venue, Thunder Valley. Nasser, we appreciate your time. I'm going to go give away tickets in just a moment. But, Nasser, we thank you for your time. We're looking forward to the fight, and we hope to talk to you again soon.
Gentlemen, thanks for having me. Have a great day. Enjoy talking to you.
Yeah, thank you. What do you think, Alan? One of these days, they have celebrity softball, media basketball. What do you think about a little media boxing tournament?
I'm in. I actually have a ton of, they'll do the boxing workouts and, no free promotion, but I went to one over a year ago, and my wife got them for me. I think I got 10 more free workouts, but I went, and it creeps up on you. At first, I'm thinking, okay, I'm taped up, I'm feeling swagged up. By the end of the workout, I was gassed. But that lefty hook, I'm gonna get you. Head body.
I don't doubt it. You can right now win a pair of tickets to Thunder Showdown 4 at the venue at Thunder Valley, Saturday, March 7th. For more info and tickets, go to thundervalleyresort.com. What number are we looking for, Alan? He's bobbing. He's weaving.
1-2 punch. So let's go with caller number 2.
Caller number 2, 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. Have fun and good luck. Alan, we probably don't have time to get into your intel right now, do we, on DeMar DeRozan?
We'll get to it.
Okay.
4 o'clock. 4 o'clock.
Let's just real quick here. Let's circle back to whatever is the indication we got today, at least from one camp, one side of this, that Russ could be back next year with the Kings. It was your guy Brett Siegel reporting it, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And again, I'm not surprised just based on the fact that if they did not get a point guard for their first pick, then it makes sense to bring Russ back. If you go out and you get A.J. DeBonsa, which is what I guess the word on the street is they would do, then you don't have your point guard of the future unless, even if you trade back in for the bottom of the first, we know that bottom of the first round, a lot of things can happen. That guy might not be ready immediately. You might not want to give him 35 minutes, or you might say, hey, I think Russ can help get this kid, over the line, over the finish line, and kind of kickstart his career. So I think it's all connected. If they go get Darren Peterson, I do feel like it changes things.
Yeah. Here's the word, by the way. I'm not saying this is good. I'm not saying this is bad, but we just want to make sure it doesn't get misconstrued. From Brett Siegel, quote, with the Kings, Westbrook has been a leading voice both on and off the court for the young players on this roster. Westbrook has the respect of his teammates and the Kings coaching staff. So why would he want to think about leaving? For the first time in a long time, Westbrook is actually with a team that values his production and skills. Assuming Westbrook stays with the Kings entering March, it would not be shocking to see him sign another contract with the Kings in the summer. End quote. So it sounds, my guess is that may be coming from Russ's camp, and it's just kind of an extension of the feeling that, hey, Russ really kind of likes it here, and he would consider coming back next year if the Kings are open to that.
Do you think that there is a level of, and again, you're at this level, and Russ has said before, hey, to come from where I came from and be as successful as I am, I'm already a champion. But do you think there is a level of a player making peace with the fact that they're not going to win a championship? Because if Russ does sign again, I mean, it's just another year. Sure, somebody could go get him, but for all intents and purposes, Russ is at peace with the fact that he will not win an NBA championship.
Total guess. If he were to try to go somewhere where he's going to win a championship, he probably would be a secondary piece, or if not, a tertiary piece. But if he's with a team like the Kings, he can continue to pile up numbers. And I think for him, I'm just guessing, that's his legacy. It's going to be about the things he's doing individually. And maybe he's figures, I'm better off focusing on that than, chasing a ring somewhere where I'm not going to be able to play as much.
Right.
The other thing is players like to play.
Yeah, if he gets a ring off the bench like that, the question is, does it really change his legacy?
Exactly. Speaking of legacies, the great Brandon Nunes joins us when we come back to Sactown Sports.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Power Business Technology is proud to be a 100% independent, locally owned and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer since 2021. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729. Or visit us at powercopiers.com.
Spring is here, and there's really nothing better than hitting the open road in a new Honda. Whether you're shopping new or pre-owned, Stockton Honda has the selection and savings, plus get top dollar for your trade. And while life's roads are often filled with bumps, buying from Stockton Honda couldn't be smoother. Wherever the road you travel might lead, Stockton Honda is happy to get you there. Come in today or go to StocktonHonda.com.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
Switch to TurboTax and file your own taxes for free in the app, because free shouldn't cost $15.99. Right? Free Tax USA? Or is it cost $15.99 Tax USA? Switch to TurboTax and file free. Free state, free federal, 100% free, 100% guaranteed. Now this is taxes. Intuit TurboTax. Switch to TurboTax and file your own taxes in the app for free by 2/28. Excludes TurboTax expert products. $15.99 charge from Free Tax USA is for state taxes.
Need life insurance but have diabetes, high blood pressure, or on anxiety meds? If you're a 50-year-old male, even porky, or with type 2 diabetes, $1 million of life insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. For affordable term life insurance, call Term Provider and speak with Big Lou at 800-777-1225. 800-777-1225 or visit biglou.com. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. 800-777-1225.
Indeed presents hires you can't afford to get wrong, like an estate planner.
Per the contents of the will, all assets go to, what does that say? Ragutataya Yaminayat. Oh, I don't know. I was in a weird place when I wrote this.
This is a job for sponsored jobs. This is what happens when you don't sponsor your job on Indeed. Next time, get matched with quality candidates with Indeed sponsored jobs. Visit Indeed.com/hire now and sponsor your job today.
Hi, I'm Chef Franklin Becker. You know the jingle. Now discover the facts about Ozempic, a GLP-1. There's only one FDA-approved Ozempic made by Novo Nordisk. Learn about the real thing.
Talk to your healthcare professional today. Call 1-833-OZEMPIC or visit Ozempic.com to view the medication guide and to learn more about Ozempic. Semaglutide injection 0.5, 1, and 2 milligrams.
The other guys must think you failed math. Get this huge discount. Then the fine print hits you with $5,200 in mandatory ads. It's adorable in a scammy kind of way. At Hoblet, we skip the tricks. The price you see is the price you actually pay. What a wild concept, huh? Hoblet, family owned 77 years. Experience the difference online at hobletdodge.com.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sactown Sports 1140. Your afternoon home for Kings talk and so much more. The Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
Yeah, the Kings won last night. How about this thought here on the text line? 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. From Rob M. The Kings need to be careful not to overpay Precious based on numbers versus tanking teams. Pay him like a solid bench player.
I don't think that will be an issue, Rob. I don't think. I guess anything can happen, but I don't think that'll be an issue. I know Drapes said that there could be other teams interested in Precious. Could be probably a handful. I really don't know how they're kind of viewing Precious and what he's been doing, but I don't think the Kings, with their money situation, Rob, I don't think you have to worry about that.
I'm not sure how relevant it is to Precious's situation, but it's a great point, the one Rob M. brings up about, and we've talked about it. It's hard to judge what's going on based on what your team is doing against tanking teams or even teams at a certain time of year. People call this the dog days. I call it the Diagu days. You ever heard of Ike Diagu?
I have.
Ike Diagu was, I think he was the 9th pick in the draft by the Warriors, and he bounced around a lot. He was a journeyman, and he ended up with the Kings 2008, 2009, the last 2 games of the season. He scored 28 points, and he scored 32 points with like double-digit rebounds.
Right.
Then he got hurt, and then he was like, that's all he ever did. Yeah. And I'll never forget that because it was the end of the season where everything's kind of winding down and it was just kind of like the silly season. I give him credit. He did that, but, I remember those 2 games like, this guy is great. Well, I don't think he was, but it's just something, again, to keep in mind when you get later in the year against teams that are not always putting their best foot forward. It is hard sometimes to look at the numbers and know for sure how legitimate they are.
Yeah, and I think it's less about worrying about the Kings overpaying because if they are trying to tank again, they're not going to haggle with Precious and his agents. It's more about are other teams seeing what Precious is doing, thinking, hey, we need that. And then you have to, I know the tanking rules are going to come out, but then you have to divvy up who exactly would be looking for Precious, right? Because a tanking team would not be looking for Precious because they're trying to tank. So you could cut at least 5 teams out of that, maybe more than that. Then you have the teams that just wouldn't be interested in him anyway. And then after that, you look at contenders and you wonder, yeah, he could be a depth piece. The name that we've always said is Yabusele. Now, Yabusele wasn't getting any run.
You like him, don't you?
Well, I liked him in the Olympics. Well, I just think
Is he one of your guys?
No. I wanted the Kings to get him after the Olympics, but I just saw a connection between the fact that they moved on, the Knicks moved on from Precious Achiuwa and brought in Yabusele, and they're not even playing him. And I think they probably would at least be playing Precious more. I don't know how much, but I think because Yabusele, he wasn't getting any type of playing time. So, yeah, I look at that whole situation, and I think there's probably only out of the teams that even could have interest just based on what makes sense, I don't see there being a ton of teams. And if they do want to overpay Precious, I would highly doubt that the Kings are going to try to match it or whatever it is. They would just say, hey, good for you.
Yeah, you mentioned somebody being overpaid or you don't want to overpay Precious. Do you think our next guest, in your view, is he overpaid?
Underpaid.
Brandon Nunes?
Underpaid.
What do you call him? Up and coming star, rising star?
Rising star in our digital department and in the Sacramento media.
Yeah.
This is Brandon Nunes.
Kings Insider.
That's right.
Sactownsports.com. Brandon, how are you today?
I'm doing well, fellas. I think you might be ineligible for Rising Stars by year 4 or whatever it is, but I'll take the compliment.
What did you make of the Kings' victory last night? What stood out the most to you in a game in which there were a number of things for the Kings, believe it or not, that positive things that stood out?
Well, I don't know if Allen was trying to do his usual things on game days, but it was the Najee Marshall and Precious Achiuwa show, just like everybody predicted, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And if anybody would have seen that coming, credit to them, because that was quite an experience, and it was certainly one of the basketball games of all time. But I think that, to your guys' point about Precious, it's good to see him putting the ball on the deck a little bit more. I think that that's something he's always been interestingly capable of, going back to college at Memphis with James Wiseman sitting on the bench or sitting in a home that Penny Hardaway bought him, whatever it was, that he could do a little bit. But that 3-ball going down, I think he was 3 for 3 from deep last game, shooting 32% from 3 this season, even if it's only a little over 1 a game. To me, that's how he makes an impact on another winning team next year, or if he does remain with the Kings next year.
How do you feel about that, Brendan? We've gone back and forth on the Keons of the world, and I think Keon was a different situation, but some Kings fans, we have to bring Precious back and Daquan Plowden.
They don't talk that way.
They do. That's how I read it. That's how they sound to me. Where are you at with bringing both of those guys back, either one of those guys back? Where are you at on that one?
Yeah, I think someone like Plowden interests me for sure, as, I just would be curious what his opportunity would look like in other places. And if you feel like you, being the Kings, give him more chances to spread his wings, to me, that's how you find out, is he a player? Obviously, I think we're going to get that over the final 26 games or something and see that a little bit more. But he's somebody that maybe he could get more opportunity here than elsewhere. And Precious is a guy where I do think they need his archetype, right? As much as I don't expect them to be a competitive team necessarily next year, you can't be getting smacked around for the development of these young guys. Like, what's going to matter most for Darren Peterson, AJ DeBonta, as I just attempt to manifest those things, is being in close games. They don't need to win all of these, but getting opportunities to close out tight ones, right? And having a defensive forward with versatility like Precious is something that this team has lacked for a while. So I don't think either one of them are, I'm not going to do the voice, but I don't think I'm as far into, hey, they have to come back next year, but why not? They'd be nice pieces to keep around in my mind.
Mm-hmm. I thought last night was a good example of how this team as a developing team has things available to them which aren't there when Russ is playing. I know I took a long way around that, but I think I know what you're saying. Only 4 turnovers last night. Also, the shot selection was very even. You had both Precious and Neek took 19 shots. Where do you think this goes the rest of the way with Russ? Is it probably just when he's healthy, he's back in and he's going to do Russ things? Or do the Kings need to take a look at, maybe we're better off if he takes a lesser role going forward?
I think it's a weird one to balance because without actually obviously knowing the guy and the conversations that are taking place, I think that there's a value in letting Russ be Russ, right? That's what Doug talked about coming into the year. And that's probably where you get him best as a mentor. Like, if he's unhappy with the team, is he still going to be a great mentor to the young guys? I don't really know the answer to that, but I imagine it would be an easier role for him to embrace when he's allowed to be him. And to me, it kind of feels like the point in his career where asking him to be somebody else or tone it down a little bit, I just would be curious the results of that, I guess. And to me, there is a lot of value in the mentorship that he provides. If they get one of those top guys that you think could have a chance of being a perennial all-star, like Russ could be a great mentor for that guy as somebody that was the best player in the league for a couple different years, won an MVP, maybe a couple is kind, but MVP under his belt. And part of me wonders if does he look around the room right now and think there's anybody else like that? Because I don't think that we think Keegan is in that stratosphere or anybody else on this roster. So I wonder if it would be different if they truly had a top tier talent as a young player there. But I do think his mentorship matters a lot to this team. Specifically, you see that with the bigs. I think Maxime Reynaud has benefited from playing with him. Dylan Cardwell, you could say the same. So I don't know. I went back and forth a little bit with Russ fans the other day when he shot, 14 times in the first quarter of that Houston game. And it's a two-way street because while there's some shots where he's taking one-legged leaners and nobody else touching the ball for a possession, you're like, what's going on? Sure, but they were in that game longer because he was doing it. And I don't think there were other guys, like, if I'm not mistaken, that was, or maybe it wasn't that game, but one of the recent ones, everybody on their team had 10-plus points except Keegan Murray. Or Keegan Murray and one other player. And it's like, there's just not other guys out there that are going and demanding it. So sometimes I find it hard to default Russ for being like, well, nobody else wants to do it. I guess like Kendrick says, somebody got to do it.
Yeah. So what I hear you saying, what do you think, Alan? I think he's saying that Russ is really like the Carmichael Dave of the Kings, right? Is that kind of what we're saying? When you consider
that's probably fair. I don't think he eats as much. I heard that Russ is a pescatarian. I don't know if Dave could do that.
No. Well, half of his content would be gone, so I don't know.
It's true.
How'd he be able to do that? Brendan, the buyout conversation ends basically today for us unless something changes because the deadline is Sunday night. Brendan, I'm watching the game last night, and I know you probably saw me live tweeting, DeMar doesn't come back in until the 3-minute mark. I don't know if they were trying to work their way out of a potential fine from Adam Silver. How do you diagnose the DeMar DeRozan situation this season? Are you surprised there hasn't been more conversation about getting him to a different team? I know the trades were the trades. Do you think they're just kind of looking forward to the summer where he is an expiring contract outside of that $14 million that he's owed, or could something pop up in the next 48 hours here?
It's funny you asked me that, Alan, because I was having a conversation with a coworker the other day, and for that reason, I was really looking forward to Alan's intel today.
We all are.
We're going to get to
Yeah.
it. But I want your intel right now.
Dangling that carrot, baby.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I would be surprised if he got bought out unless he was very much pushing for it. And I would bet that DeMar probably does want to be somewhere else, but he doesn't strike me as a person that is, going to burn bridges in order to try and do so. And same thing, like you hear nothing but great things about how he is as a mentor, as a vet. You go back to, how he was with Dalen Terry in Chicago, and there's a handful of different examples where he's been a really good vet. He's the one that comes out and says, this is Keegan Murray's team, and I don't know that Keegan's necessarily embraced that mindset in the same way, it seems, when he's on the floor. But yeah, I mean, I think that he is valuable to have on the team, even if similar to Russ, there's some possessions that might drive you a little bit crazy. But to me, it's still a trade piece in a way. Whatever value that may be is very much up in the air, and I don't think it's very much, or he probably would be in another situation by now. It certainly was not for a lack of effort by Scott Perry at the deadline. But when you only have, $10 million of next year's salary guaranteed, I think that could be appealing to a team that could ship off a larger salary and then help some of their cap space out. So in my mind, there's current value that he brings to the team, and they probably will just continue to attempt to try and move him around in this offseason.
Brandon Nunes with us. I don't know if you had a chance to hear earlier, Brendan, we had Drapes on, and Drapes was giving us some insight into specifically how the Kings are working with Devin Carter on that three-point shot. If he can figure that out at some point, we may have a player here, right? He's finally showing that if he can figure out the jump shot, there's probably going to be room for him on this roster going forward.
Yeah, I think that's the X factor, and I think it's been the X factor, and that might be a concern at the same time as well, because there's not been very many moments of it going in. I heard, I forget if it was you guys or Draper mentioning the 30-footers that he takes in warm-ups. I don't know. Every time I see those, I kind of chuckle a little bit, admittedly. I don't know if I ever want to see him taking those in the game, but to each their own in warm-ups, however you're going to be feeling yourself. But that is the big X factor, because we know that this guy can rebound. I still always go back to in college, he had more rebounds than 7+ guy Donovan Clingan. He has the same vertical as Malik Monk. His 3/4 sprint speed was the highest in the combine for his draft class. Like, I thought some of the pick and roll stuff has looked better recently. The playmaking and decision making, I still think needs to get there, but for example, in that game against Dallas, where he sort of has the hesitation while Maxime running a two-man game with Maxime Reynaud, hesitates to freeze that defender and then rises up for the dunk. Like, that sort of stuff looks really good. Defensively, I think being more of an impact player in that way would carry a lot of weight as somebody that I think has high potential there, but you're for sure spot on there, Whitey. I think the X factor is completely that jump shot. And to be honest, right now, I don't know that I have the most confidence in it working out, but I didn't think De'Aaron Fox would become a good shooter, and eventually he did. I think there's other examples of guys figuring that out, but it's certainly the biggest point of contention with his game and what he's going to end up being.
Brendan, one of the most popular players on the team and most talked about players on the team, it's really gone silent ever since the trade deadline passed. I'm curious, where are we at with Malik Monk? He's around 20 minutes per game. He's 26, 27 years old. Funny enough, same age as Daquan Plowden. Where do you think this goes next? Are they back trying to ship him off in the summer? And of course, we'll have you on and we can talk about it after they, draft whoever they draft and whatnot. It just feels weird that we have not talked about Malik Monk at all since the trade deadline. And he plays a little bit. Last night, 7 points, took 8 shots. He's just kind of there. But what do you think the future is for Malik, and how Doug and the organization sees a guy like that?
Yeah, I mean, I think that him getting shopped as much as seemed to reportedly be the case at the deadline is probably the biggest tell. I really don't think anybody is safe on this roster. Maybe Keegan Murray having the most security out of anybody. And even then, Dave throwing out the random idea of, hey, Milwaukee offers you a first-round pick. Do you do that? Probably, right? Everybody has a price. And I think a lot of the reality for Malik and why you see guys like Cam Thomas get waived, for example, is because this microwave two-guard that can't really defend, doesn't have great size, is undervalued in today's NBA. And I do think undervalued is the right word. I think it's been a little bit of too much of an extreme because this guy's a bucket still when it comes down to it. And it's not just that, right? Compared to Cam Thomas, like Malik has really underrated playmaking that I think we've seen throughout his career. I think Domas not being out there really hurts him because they have that two-man game connection that works so well between them, no matter who's the one handling the ball primarily there and setting up the other one. So I certainly think that, my main takeaway is honestly, as more years come off that contract, it probably gets easier to move. And I'd imagine we keep hearing those conversations.
Brendan, thanks for your time. And listen, you're going to want to scramble. If you're not near radio, scramble for one, because I'm going to try to convince Alan to get into Alan's intel here as soon as we conclude our conversation with you. So thanks for your time. Have a great weekend, and we'll talk to you soon.
I think you should just keep booking guests through the rest of the show and keep making him not able to get to it till Monday. But
You're
appreciate
funny,
it, guys.
Brendan.
He is funny.
You're funny, Brendan.
Thank you, Brendan. Appreciate
Thanks,
it. Yeah. How about it, Alan? Do you have time here to get into?
Let's do it.
Do you need some music or something?
No, we'll
And how
work
is
on
this
that
different
next
from a Shot of Styles again?
Shot of Styles is just me ranting.
Okay.
I have information.
Oh, okay.
That I will share.
Oh, I see. Alan's intel.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Real quick before we do that,
You want
wanna
like
hear
some spy music or something?
No, please no. That's like the round table music. Couldn't stand that. Whitey, you want to hear something that's kind of fascinating though?
Yes.
Real quick before we get into it. So I'm looking here. Ever since February 19th, that's just how far Malik didn't play against the Jazz. So we always talk about, or I always talk about the 520 podcast when they came down and said, "Hey, Jeff Teague, you're at 19 minutes, never more, never less." Right? This is Malik Monk. I just feel it's just weird that we just don't talk about Malik Monk anymore. Malik Monk against the Magic, okay? Malik Monk against the Magic, 20 minutes, all right? Malik Monk against the Spurs, this was a different game. De'Aaron Fox was playing. Malik Monk got 28 minutes that game, all right? After that, so 20 against the Magic, 28 against the Spurs. Against the Grizzlies, Malik Monk, 19 minutes. Against the Rockets a couple days ago, Malik Monk, 19 minutes. Last night against the Mavericks, Malik Monk, 19 minutes. That's weird. Well, not weird. I think there might be a call. And I find it fascinating as we're sitting here praising Daquan Plowden. I know he's a little bit taller than Malik, but again, all in that two-guard range. I find it a bit fascinating that if the argument is about, oh, well, Westbrook is playing too much, whatever it is, and we'll bring up Devin Carter and we'll bring up Neek Clifford, not so much Neek anymore. We don't really talk about Malik because he is slightly older, 26, 27. But, I mean, Malik could be playing more. It seems like they have a pretty strong handle at that 20-minute mark for Malik.
Yeah, I'm guessing, and I'd have to watch more closely to know for sure, and a lot of people may know offhand, but I'm guessing that, Coach Christie has it's like a schedule. Malik goes in at this point, I take him out at this point. And so if you're doing that, you're pretty much going to end up.
Right.
Yeah.
It's just not fluctuating at all.
Yeah, that is curious. A little bit curious.
Yeah.
But I don't want to see him play anymore.
You don't?
No.
I think that's what's
I'd rather see the younger guys play.
But you want to see Daquan Plowden play more?
Yeah.
They're the same age.
Oh, okay. They're the same age, but in terms of experience, Malik, we know what he is. Okay. So it's not just a matter of, your birth certificate. It's what kind of player are you? Malik, we know what Malik is. Daquan Plowden, we're not sure yet. How do you find out? You play him more.
Yeah. Technically, Malik is 28 and Daquan's 27, technically.
Yeah.
But I thought, and actually.
Which means you lose again.
Well,
no, you know what I mean? I mean,
Yeah.
okay, it's not just, I know Daquan isn't a, freshman or anything, but we don't know for sure yet what he is. So,
yes, there's still some mystery there, some untapped potential.
Yeah.
We don't know how close he is to his ceiling. Malik, we feel like he's pretty much at his ceiling right now. But yeah, he's averaging 22 minutes over the last whatever so games. So that's just
Can
what
we
it
all
is.
get in Malik's DeLorean?
Please.
And go back to the Beam Team year?
Please.
We'll just meet him out front of Pizza Guys, get in the DeLorean, and we can all go back.
Well, it's funny it's funny in situations like that when they get in the time machine. No, we've gone back too far. Right? Don't go back too far. Don't go too far ahead in the future. But yeah, all right, I'm ready to go now.
Okay.
I just wanted to lay that out because I thought it was just funny that with all these games, how different they've been, Malik's still sitting at 20. So here's the bottom line when it comes to DeMar. I was talking to some people this morning, and it is a bit more, it is a bit deeper than what I think we all feel like it would be, right? Hey, DeMar wants to go to a different team, whatever it is. Brett Siegel says he thinks there would be playoff teams with interest. Free him, Kings, free him. Well, what's the price that he's willing to be freed at? So you look at the $10 million that he is owed next season, and then you have the $14 million, whatever team he's on, in January 2027. So essentially, as we know from our guy Yossi, he would kind of be forfeiting that $14 million unless the Kings just gave it to him for him to go away, which they're not going to do. So it's not even necessarily a two-way street when it comes to a Kings buyout. It's a three-way street. Mark Stein comes out yesterday. He had specific names when it came to Chris Middleton. He talked about the Denver Nuggets. Mm-hmm. That's very specific.
Right.
We haven't heard anything as specific with DeMar and Russell Westbrook. So the holdup, for lack of a better term, is the conversation between what DeMar would want to be bought out for versus what the Kings would be willing to buy him out for, on top of the fact that if they did want to do the good thing, the basketball karma thing.
They wanted to free him.
Yes, if they wanted to free him, well, if we are going to free you, you better have a team. We're not just going to free you when you're just floating looking around. If you come to us with a team, then we can have that conversation. And going back to what Brett is saying, he hasn't come to them with the team because it's possible there might not be a team, or DeMar doesn't want to give up that type of money that he might not get back, that $14 million that's waiting for him, on top of some of the $10 million that he's waiting for. And last but not least, when it comes to the Kings, he is still a trade asset. So even though he did not get traded this go-round, we don't know what could happen in the summer because he's a pseudo-expiring, and he would be legitimately expiring. A team could go get him and still move off of him in whatever capacity before January. So the Kings see him as an asset. They don't necessarily want to pay him what he'd probably want to be paid to agree to that buyout. And at the crux of this as well, there better be a team out there that, if the Kings are going to do the right thing, quote unquote, that truly does want you. So it's a little bit thicker than the idea of just go free him. Well, if DeMar wants to be freed for $3 million, I'm sure the Kings would do that. But I don't think DeMar wants to be freed for $3 million.
Right. Because that would cost him money.
That would cost him a lot of money. So it's what we talked about with Yossi, but there's also a different layer when you look at even the $10 million that he's guaranteed.
Yeah.
Because buyouts, you know, I was trying to do a lot of research in what guys get bought out for, and it's kind of hard to find, but these buyout amounts, normally they're not that much. So DeMar would be leaving a lot on the table for a reduced role. He might as well just wait till the summer and see if somebody is interested, and he would know that they actually want him. When you're a buyout candidate, their commitment to you is pretty minimal.
Yeah. There's also this, is there not? We've seen many players come through Sacramento, and they get here, and they don't want to play here. They just do not want to be here.
Yeah.
DeMar, I don't know if he'd rather be somewhere else, but he wants to play.
He does.
He wants to play 82 games.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, and that's what Draper said. So I think it's well known he wants to be that Iron Man at 82, and apparently it doesn't necessarily matter what that looks like. If he plays on all 82, but he's not playing in the second half, apparently DeMar is at peace with that.
Yeah.
That's what it seems like.
You know what, DeMar, look at the schedule. You could go somewhere to a team that hasn't played as many games as the Kings. You could play 83.
You could.
Or more.
You could.
Yeah. Tony Jones from The Athletic is going to join us. Tony Jones covers the Jazz. He's the one that's been ranting and raving. Well, not ranting and raving. He's been pointing out very cogently that the NBA's anti-tanking policies don't make sense. So we'll see how that impacts the Kings and small market teams going forward with Tony Jones next on Sactown Sports.
The San Francisco 49ers play on Sactown Sports 1140.
Touchdown 49ers! Every game on your number one sports station. Don't miss the action on your local sports leader. Sactown Sports 1140.
How can you grow your business from idea to industry leader? With smart business buying tools and technology from Amazon Business. From fast, free shipping to in-depth buying insights and automated purchase approvals, we deliver everything you need. Go to AmazonBusiness.com for support.
Check engine or ABS light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Jackson Hewitt knows taxes are complicated, and with multiple jobs and tax forms, they're like Sonata complicated. Our no surprise pricing keeps things simple. Jackson Hewitt does your taxes for only $149 or less. And since we know all the new tax codes, you could get thousands back. So what are you waiting for? Hurry. File with Jackson Hewitt today for only $149 or less, guaranteed. Limited time offer for new clients on federal returns. Participating locations only. Terms at jacksonhewitt.com/149. Jackson Hewitt knows taxes are complicated. And with multiple jobs and tax forms, they're like Sonata complicated. Our no surprise pricing keeps things simple. Jackson Hewitt does your taxes for only $149 or less. And since we know all the new tax codes, you could get thousands back. So what are you waiting for? Hurry. File with Jackson Hewitt today for only $149 or less, guaranteed. Limited time offer for new clients on federal returns. Participating locations only. Terms at jacksonhewitt.com/149.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment? That's a lie. Most timeshares can be bought online for $1. To find out what your timeshare is worth and to cancel it, call us today and we'll send you our timeshare exit kit free with all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley for your free exit info guide. 800-771-1300. That's 800-771-1300.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health Sacramento will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Capital Casino is conveniently located in downtown, 411 16th Street, and has been a part of the greater Sacramento area for over 20 years. They offer the best variety of games in the region in a safe and friendly environment. And there's plenty of parking, all well lit and monitored by security. Come have a great meal at the cafe and restaurant inside. Capital Casino has the best food, the best service, and the best action. But please always remember to gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Growing your business? It's all about having the right team on the court. At Bank of Marin, we partner with businesses in the greater Sacramento area, delivering personalized service and local expertise to help you make a slam dunk. Whether it's customized lending or solutions to keep your business growing, you'll benefit from local decision making, expanding, acquiring additional assets, or building a lasting banking relationship. We're ready for tip-off. Bank of Marin, your local business bank. Visit us at bankofmarin.com. Member FDIC.
Jackson Hewitt handles your taxes and your stress. Inhale our no surprise price of $149 or less. Exhale, paying more for complicated taxes. You won't. Inhale new tax law knowledge. Exhale, missing out on your biggest refund. Certainly not. Don't miss paying $149 or less. Rest easy. Jackson Hewitt's got your taxes. Guaranteed. Limited time offer for new clients on federal returns. Participating locations only. Terms at jacksonhewitt.com/149.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to A to Z Savings, our biggest sale of the year.
Happy to be here. Can I get some rotors?
Would you like brake pads with that?
How much are the brake pads?
Free with Duralast rotors.
Free. Really?
Really? Free.
I also need some oil.
Would you like an oil filter with that?
Yeah. How much is that?
Free with the oil.
Free. Really?
Really. Free. It's part of A to Z Savings with hundreds of deals.
From A to free.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Ends March 9th. Restrictions apply.
Stay up to date on Sacramento sports. Join the Sactown Sports 1140 newsletter. Visit SactownSports.com.
Have you tried my Colombian tamales?
Yes, but the Mexican tamales I brought are way better.
Colombian tamales wrapped in plantain leaves are unmatched, you know.
But the Mexican tamales wrapped in corn husks are the authentic ones.
At least we can agree that they taste better with Pepsi.
Without a doubt, tamales deserve Pepsi. No matter what tamales you love, enter for a chance to win a year's worth of groceries. Powered by Pepsi. No purchase necessary. U.S. residents 18 or over. Ends April 5th, 2026. Rules at pepsipromo.com/free groceries. Pepsi is a registered trademark of PepsiCo Inc.
Download the app and listen to The Drive Guys.
The Drive Guys with Kevin Gleason and Alan Stiles.
On Sactown Sports 1140.
Alan, if the NBA is coming after the Jazz and the Pacers on tanking, how long before they come for the Kings? Huh? How long?
Sooner than you think.
Nice enough to join us. Outstanding writer for The Athletic. He covers the Jazz. He just wrote a fascinating commentary when it comes to tanking. The Jazz are doing what a small market NBA team should. Tony Jones back with us. How are you today, Tony?
I'm good. Thank you guys for having me on.
Oh,
really
thank you.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, well, we appreciate your time and appreciate your piece. The league's anti-tanking stance, is it not an affront to all small market teams?
Well, I think it's like the league trying to take away the last vehicle to small market teams, right? Like let's take Utah and Indiana for an example. You know, are they attracting the major free agent? You know, I know Utah's signed some free agents in the past, like they got Bojan Bogdanovic, ironically from Indiana. They got Carlos Boozer from another small market in Cleveland. You know, so, but on the whole, they're not signing, you know, LeBron's not saying, hey, I want to go play in Utah, or I want to go play in Sacramento, or I want to go play in Indiana. You know, so in a lot of cases, you know, the best way for a small market team to get a premier player on their roster is to control their draft pick. And by controlling their draft pick, that means tanking because, you know, on the whole, the premier talents of a draft are near the top of the draft. I mean, there are obviously exceptions to every rule, but, you know, unless you're Denver and you get Nikola Jokic and he turns into a generational guy, you know, you're trying to get the best guy in the draft. And, you know, those guys are at the top of drafts.
Tony, could we look at this and say, all right, OKC and Detroit are the 1 seeds this season. Last season it was OKC and Cleveland. Could that be the league saying, we can't keep doing this, right? We said, you know, Luka is in LA and nobody is talking about that. With LeBron, we have to figure out a way to, I guess, make it tougher for small market teams. I know the Spurs have Wemby, but the Spurs aren't necessarily a big market either. Could this be the league saying that small market teams, too many of them, have been doing this properly?
You know, I think the league's heart is in the right place. You know, they want competitive basketball, and they want competitive basketball on the aggregate throughout the league. They are correct in wanting that. But small markets are correct in, you know, handling business in the way, you know, that benefits them most for the future. You know, so let's take an example. You know, does Russell Westbrook, does Sacramento benefit more from Russell Westbrook playing really well the other night? And he's played really well for the Kings on the whole this year. But do they benefit more from him playing really well the other night as opposed to Nick Clifford getting those minutes? You know, those are conundrums that teams, you know, in late February and early March, you know, have to figure out. And, you know, I think that, you know, the league wants a competitive league, but small markets have to do, you know, what's best for them for the long term. So let's look at recent years. Oklahoma City is the defending NBA champion. They tanked to get Chet Holmgren.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Detroit is the number 1 seed in the Eastern Conference. They tanked to get Cade Cunningham. You know, so these guys, you know, got premier guys on their team, you know, by tanking. So it's one of those things where, if it's the best, and the best thing for you in a business sense, then you got to do it. And it's just my opinion that I think the league, should suck it up and just realize that there's going to be a certain amount of tanking every year. And, and that, what do we want? We want parity. The NFL thrives on parity. It's the reason why it's one of the reasons why it's the number one sport in the world in terms of fan interest. So I think that the NBA can learn a little bit, from the NFL in terms of having parity, in terms of it, not being so predictable who's going to win a championship on a given year. And last year, I thought it was pretty unpredictable who was going to win. It turned out to be Oklahoma City and Indiana, and it turned out to be a great 7-game series.
Yeah, we've got this streak of, 7 years with a different champion. Tony Jones from The Athletic, nice enough to join us. Tony, we know, or at least we think we know, Utah is close to coming out of a long-term tank. Washington also looks like they may be getting ready to come out of it. The Kings are just starting. So, a lot of us here are worried that the Kings are just starting this process. And then, depending on how radical reform is, the whole process may be halted by the NBA depending on how they approach this offseason. How radical do you think reform might be, lottery reform might be this offseason?
I think there'll be some changes made, but I don't think that it'll be, as radical as people think. I think the league made it really tough in 2019 when they changed the lottery odds.
Yeah.
And ironically, that's why more teams are tanking now because, Utah finished with the worst record in the league. And before 2019 would have had, a 66% chance to get the number one pick. And guess what? They fell to the 5th pick. The Washington Wizards were the number 2 team in the league last year in terms of worst record. They fell to the 6th pick, while the Jazz fell to the 5th pick. So because of the flattened lottery odds, and because teams are falling, that begat more tanking, if that makes more sense.
Yep.
So, I think the one thing that I will say about to Sacramento fans is, take advantage of this draft. This is a one-of-a-kind draft. I think it's the best draft since 2003, the LeBron James draft. And, if you're anywhere in the top 3 or 4 picks, you're going to get a guy who I think has a chance to be a Hall of Fame level talent. You're either going to get, if you're anywhere in the 4 picks, you're either going to get Darren Peterson, AJ DeBanza, Cameron Boozer, or Caleb Wilson. All 4 of those guys have a chance to be all-star year after year after year after year after year. So, if this is not, the Cooper Flag draft where you get Cooper Flag and, as good as, Con Knipple, VJ Escom, and Dylan Harper have been, it's still Cooper Flag. This draft has multiple franchise-level talents, and I think that if you're the Sacramento Kings, you're in a good position to snag one of those guys.
Tony, one thing that made me very, very uncomfortable was when the league came down and got on the Jazz and fined the Jazz because they were leading going into the 4th quarter and guys didn't play. Will the tank rules, you think, stop that haphazardness of, hey, well, you were leading and it went viral on Twitter that nobody played? The Jazz won one of those games, Tony. It made me very uncomfortable because if you're somebody like me who's a habitual line stepper, well, you know what? Next game, you're playing 1 minute of the 4th. Now what are you going to do, Adam? Are you going to say, well, you played 1 minute, you got, what is the line there? I don't know, Tony. It made me very uncomfortable. Do you think that these rules will stop that and there will be at least some guardrails? Because I did not like that type of, those type of fines at all.
I think anything short of we're just going to scrap the draft is there's going to be some kind of tanking involved. And, so the answer is I don't think that the league can do anything to completely eradicate it. So, what are we really talking about here? The Jazz were not happy with being fined. They thought that they were picked out. They thought that, they were, treated as low-hanging fruit. And, and here's the thing, they aren't the first team to ever sit their players in the fourth quarter with the intention of losing the game. I saw the Toronto Raptors do the same thing last year. And ironically, the Toronto Raptors won that game because Jacoby Walters hit a three at the buzzer. And, it was funny. I had a little fun on Twitter. I was like, well, Jacoby Walters is going to get cut next day by the Toronto Raptors. And, of course, they, it was all in jest. But, I mean, that's the kind of thing, that happens. I mean, that's the kind of jokes that happens when, you go around and you tank. So, they're not the first team to do that. They're not the first team, to do the load management thing on the injury report. It just doesn't happen. It's happened for 30 years. The San Antonio Spurs set up an entire dynasty in 1997 by tanking for Tim Duncan. And that tank race, Rick Pitino tried to tank for Tim Duncan and ended up with like Ron Mercer or Chauncey Billups or somebody like that. So it's been going on for years and years and years and years, and it's been going on for decades. I think that the biggest change right now is that the league has embraced gambling, whereas three decades ago, the league hadn't embraced gambling. So I think that there's just a little bit of a different thing there, in terms of that.
Absolutely. It's a great piece in The Athletic. When it comes to tanking, the Jazz are doing what a small market NBA team should, by Tony Jones. Tony, thank you very much. We appreciate it. Have a great weekend, and we hope to talk to you again soon.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, when we come back, the state of the Kings tank next on Sactown Sports.
Right now at Elk Grove Honda, you can lease a 2025 Accord hybrid sports sedan for only $39.99 down, including first payment due at lease inception, excluding tax and license. 35 monthly payments of $299 plus tax, license, and zero security deposit on approved credit. Mileage in excess of $10,000 per year at 20 cents per mile. It really is the lease you can do. We're Elk Grove Honda in the Elk Grove Auto Mall, Highway 99 and Elk Grove Boulevard, or on the web at elkgrovehonda.com.
I gotta get an Elk Grove Honda.
LinkedIn is pretty amazing at helping you grow your small business. We cannot make your email response time faster. We can help you sell, market, and hire in one place. We cannot help you find space for your 3 desk drinks. Why do you have 3? And while we can't help you find the perfect volume for your presentation video, LinkedIn can help you find the perfect audience for your business. Grow your small business on LinkedIn. Learn more at linkedin.com/smallbusiness.
Hi, I'm Michael from the War and Treaty. You know the jingle. Now discover the facts about Ozempic, a GLP-1. Only Novo Nordisk makes FDA-approved Ozempic. Learn about the real thing.
Talk to your healthcare professional today. Call 1-833-OZEMPIC or visit Ozempic.com to view the medication guide and to learn more about Ozempic. Semaglutide injection 0.5 milligram, 1 milligram, and 2 milligrams.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave. I got to tell you, I am so excited to get this decking project started with Trex Decking and Railings. From the first time I stepped foot in the showroom last week, I was so impressed. So many color options. Heat-resistant composite deck. What does that mean? That means I don't have to do any maintenance on it whatsoever. They even have a deck designer, so you can go online and see what your dream deck will look like on your house. Just visit Trex, that's Trex.com to get it started. Tell them Carmichael Dave sent you.
It's Friday. Johnny Mosley here with your Toyota Tower Report. Toyota and I are breaking down the latest weather and mountain updates so you can roll into the weekend fully prepared. Maybe even looking like you planned ahead.
Thanks, Johnny. The best day of the week up in Tahoe. Mostly sunny, light winds, and a high near 55 degrees. Tonight, lows around 31. Looking ahead to Saturday, mostly cloudy with a chance of afternoon rain. This report is brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. Toyota, let's go places. At InShape, we have a place for every kind of mover. The Sometimer, the early riser, the after-work grinder, the yogi, lifter, bodybuilder, walker, runner, swimmer, spinner, stretcher, rower, climber, jumper, dancer, boxer, sauna seeker, recoverer. Basically, if you walk, lift, stretch, or sweat, you belong at InShape. So whether it's your first time or your first time in a while, start the year strong and join today at InShape.com. Find a location nearest to you.
Are you 50 or older? This news is for you.
the CDC recommends you get vaccinated against pneumococcal pneumonia. Even if you're healthy, your age puts you at risk. People 50 or older are over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia compared to adults 18 to 49. Just one shot can help protect you. Learn more and schedule at vaxassist.com. That's VAXassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to A to Z Savings, our biggest sale of the year.
Happy to be here. Can I get some rotors?
Would you like brake pads with that?
How much are the brake pads?
Free with Duralast rotors.
Free. Really?
Really? Free.
I also need some oil.
Would you like an oil filter with that?
Yeah. How much is that?
Free with the oil.
Free. Really?
Really? Free. It's part of A to Z Savings with hundreds of deals.
From A to free.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Ends March 9th. Restrictions apply.
The Drive Guys with Kevin Gleason and Alan Stiles on Sactown Sports 1140.
Alan Stiles, am I a bad Kings fan for getting a little uncomfortable with wins like last night's? Because I'm looking big picture. Like Tony Jones wrote, small market teams should be tanking.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there was a time, wasn't that long ago, where that was a raging debate around here. Kings should tank. No, you can't tank. I know there's still a lot of people that are anti-tanking, but I think for the most part, everybody's on board and understands it. So that said, am I a bad fan for down the stretch of that game, kind of feeling like, another win? I don't know.
So it didn't matter to you. It didn't matter to you how it was happening, because to me, I just think the Kings are going to win some games, right? If it's avoidable, I don't know. I woke up this morning and I guess I'm on some basketball moral high ground. And to me, I just don't know if the Kings aren't getting in their own way, you got to play it out. Right. But that's why I'm more so stuck on the past and, you know, a game like they had against the Grizzlies. So I understand where you're coming from, but I don't get that kind of queasy feeling because I just don't know what they could do. I mean, I get
Sure.
I get like warm inside when it's Westbrook or DeMar kind of carrying them. But last night, I'm thinking maybe it's because I like my guy Daquan, but I'm just not really sure what they could do. So I don't think you're a bad fan. I don't know. I'm more so just stuck on what were they supposed to do.
Yeah, I'm with you. Both things can be true, though. I could look at that and go, wow, a lot of guys played well, young guys played well. I'm not saying they should have done anything differently, but I'm uncomfortable with the fact that they won.
Yeah. Is this a way to go about it? And again, I'm talking about basketball morality, but here I go.
I'm telling you, there is no such thing as an ethical tank.
No.
It's
I'm not saying
myth.
ethical tank. I'm saying basketball karma is what I'm saying. But Whitey, funny enough, the same way last season we mentioned, how many wins would the Kings need to make the postseason instead of the playoffs? Now I'm going to ask the question, how many wins can they afford to keep the 1 seed? Should the Kings have that?
That's a great question.
Should the Kings have that in their mind, though? And you could
Not
look at
the
it like
players.
that. No, not the players, but a conversation between Doug and Scott Perry where it's like, hey, you know, it's like money, right? Hey, this is your allotted money when we would, hey, we got this much money for the weekend when we were playing George Washington or whoever. So we could get Domino's one night, but if we want some expensive food, it might cost you on the other side. So, hey, you wanted that win, Doug, against the Grizzlies to end that streak, and then you snuck out one here. Your magic number, I'm just going to throw one out here, Whitey, is 18, right? Or 19. Let's make it even.
Tragic number?
You got 5 more wins, okay? So 5 more wins where you're controlling it, where it's, all right, if you want Russ and DeMar to do their thing and keep them engaged, cool. You can't eclipse that 5 more wins. It would be very detrimental for you to do that. Maybe that's the conversation. Now, we would not know about that conversation clearly, but you look at Dallas Mavericks with 21. I don't know how many more they're going to get. We know it's going to get much softer with the schedule, but do they say, Doug, we need you to come in here. we can't get to 20.
I don't know this for a fact, but I can't imagine. You don't want to involve your coach in that directly. You can look, coach.
They told Malik only 20 minutes. They didn't say that. But we imagine
we can only. Although who was it? Wasn't it Brian Flores that said he sued the Dolphins because he said the owner told him, "Yeah, we don't want to win many games this year."
Right.
Remember?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's just dumb for the owner to do. I know fans here, I see on the text line and in the chat, some people say, hey, boy, there's a problem here if the coach and the GM aren't on the same page. I don't know that there are a lot of tanking teams with coaches who go, yeah, let's lose more games.
Okay.
But I do think it's incumbent upon a GM to, in terms of the players he brings in and in some of the instructions he gives the coach, like limits on minutes, that's on the GM. I don't think it's fair to expect a coach to coach in such a way as to lose games. I don't even think you'd want a coach to do that.
But that's what, no. But I'm not saying that. We're saying the same thing. Let's go back to the Grizzlies game. Hey, Doug, Russ will not eclipse 25 minutes again, right? He played 33 against the Grizzlies.
That you can always do. You can tell a coach,
yeah,
we don't want this guy playing.
That's all I'm saying.
More than X amount of minutes.
That's all I'm saying. You just want
Why not? Doesn't matter why
Right.
not. That's what we want you to do.
Right. And there's another example that
Not
you
that
just
he wouldn't know. Why
that
not?
you just brought up, and I know that it's a lottery in the NBA and it's not a lottery in the NFL, but Max Crosby, right? That decision was not left up to Pete Carroll. That came down from up top. That was, hey, that was Tom Brady, whoever it was. Hey, Max Crosby is not playing in that game. Now, it didn't end up mattering because I think they might have won that game because the Giants won or something like that. But that's the conversation I'm having. I'm not saying anything with Doug. The conversation I'm talking about isn't, hey, stink. It's, hey, Doug, Russ will not eclipse 30 minutes. Russ will not eclipse 25 minutes the rest of the season. DeMar will not eclipse 25 minutes the rest of the season. That's just what it is.
Yeah. I was thinking of this last night. When you look back at your favorite moments as a Kings fan, obviously there's a lot of wins and a lot of the Weber era wins come to mind. Yeah, there's heartbreaks, but I'm just talking about the moments that you remember fondly. I think the end of this year, when the season's finally over, will easily be a top 30. Just that it's done.
Yeah. It's been a quite a roller coaster, and not even a roller coaster. I would say last season was more of a roller coaster because you had ups and downs. This was like drop zone. Like this, you just went to the top and then just dropped down.
Last
there was
year,
no
at least,
ups and downs.
right down to the last game in which they got blown out. It mattered.
Yes.
Much more interesting and compelling, as much as, last year was about, like you say, wow, this is falling apart. That didn't go well. The face of the franchise is gone. What'd you get for him? Ooh. But this is rough on everybody.
Yeah.
Rough on everybody.
Yeah, Jay, Vallejo, last season was a Medusa. Last season was Six Flags Medusa. This season was drop zone. Just drop it right. There's no twists and turns. It was just dropped. From the beginning.
Vallejo reference, huh?
Oh, yeah. Well, back in my day, it was Marine World. Now,
Back in my day, it was a freaking golf course, and Marine World was in Redwood City.
Tell them.
I did not know that. I did not know that.
Yeah.
So what? So then they moved Marine World, and then they added Great America? Is that what happened?
Basically, yes.
Great America's close enough to Redwood City.
They had Six Flags, bought them, and then they added the amusement park. But, it was a big thing, as you can imagine, in the news. Like, well, they got to take the killer whales and put them in a truck and drive them to Vallejo.
Wow.
I'm not kidding.
Still wasn't the woos.
Vallejo, what?
He doesn't know the woos.
Yeah, I forgot. My bad.
Marine World was in Redwood City?
Yeah. It was nice because they had a waterway where you could basically get in a boat and go all the way around the park in a boat.
So then they rebranded. There were still whales, but then they rebranded to more of an amusement park.
Yes, but they moved to Vallejo, and it was still Marine World, Africa, USA. Then Six Flags bought them, and then they put in all
see, I did not know that.
Yeah, and that used to be a very nice golf course.
Huh.
Lake Chabot.
Well, I used to go Halloween. You go with that special someone, and they're scaring you. They're jumping out of the bushes.
Haunted house?
The haunted house. Oh, my goodness. But, hey, I got you. I might scream with you.
Yeah.
But I got you.
Yeah. So this year, what'd you say? It was Medusa, and then last year was Medusa?
Last year was Medusa. This year was just drop zone. Just you just pray that you just get to the bottom and it's over.
It'll just be such a relief when the season ends, and then we can focus on the upcoming lottery and the draft. And not have to do all this. Well, they won, but I don't want them to win. And that guy played good, but the other team's not trying.
Yeah.
It's too much work, Alan.
It is a lot of work.
Yeah. When we come back, last night showed that despite it all, the Kings have made, in some areas, they have made some progress. And I will defend that point of view to the death next on Sactown Sports.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sactown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sactown Sports app.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
If your business depends on reliable vehicles, it's time to upgrade your fleet at myelkgrovechevrolet.com. We specialize in fleet pricing, bulk discounts, and fast approvals, so your team stays on the road and on the job. From work trucks and vans to fuel-efficient sedans and SUVs, we have the inventory, service, and financing to keep your business moving. Call or visit myelkgrovechevrolet.com today and ask about exclusive fleet savings. myelkgrovechevrolet.com. Driving business forward.
When life calls for a little extra, a kitchen upgrade, paying off debt, or that dream vacation, Valley Strong Credit Union is here to help. With a Valley Strong home equity loan, you can tap into your home's value with competitive rates, flexible terms, and local guidance you can trust. Get approved in as little as 5 minutes, with funding in as few as 5 days. Your goals are within reach. Visit valleystrong.com to get your offer today. Valley Strong Credit Union. Grow your possibilities. Equal housing lender, NMLS number 456506.
Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Here's Frank LaRosa.
How far do you hit your 7-iron? The answers will tell you which tees to play, according to Josh Sens in Golf Magazine. Deep down, you know you shouldn't be playing from the tips, but it's common for golfers to play from too far back. Aside from higher scores, rounds become a grind and golf becomes much less fun. After several years of research, the USGA unveiled a new data-driven offering to find the proper tees called Best Tees. If you know how far you hit your 7-iron, Best Tees will tell you which tee boxes to play. A typical male golfer should be playing from 6,100 yards and a typical female golfer from 4,400 yards. Most players have a good idea of their 7-iron distance, with average male's distance of 138 yards and average female's of 100 yards. Throw out the occasional perfect shot, which travels more than those distances, and concentrate on your average. This will allow you to reach the vicinity of most greens in regulation and let you hit a variety of clubs on approach shots. Leave your ego at home and give it a chance. You'll have more fun. That's your Golf to Go. I'm Frank LaRosa.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Sacramento will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
When the final buzzer sounds, the action keeps going with the Sactown Sports Live event calendar. March 15th, rock legends Jefferson and Starship take the stage at Hard Rock Live Sacramento, bringing decades of classic hits and high-energy performance. Then, March 20th through the 22nd, Hot Wheels Monster Trucks Live storms into the Cal Expo grandstands with massive trucks, big air, and edge-of-your-seat thrills the whole family will love. April 18th, international comedy star Russell Peters delivers a night of sharp, non-stop laughs at Thunder Valley. On May 1st,
The iconic James Taylor performs live at Tahoe Blue Event Center for an evening of timeless songs and unforgettable moments. Friday, June 12th, country star Keith Urban brings his electrifying live show to the Nugget Event Center in Reno. And on August 16th, Kane Brown takes over Ironstone Amphitheater in Murphys for a summer night packed with chart-topping country hits, concerts, comedy, and can't miss live entertainment. Find your next big event now on the Sactown Sports Live Events calendar.
Capital Casino is conveniently located in downtown, 411 16th Street, and has been a part of the greater Sacramento area for over 20 years. They offer the best variety of games in the region in a safe and friendly environment, and there's plenty of parking, all well lit and monitored by security. Come have a great meal at the cafe and restaurant inside. Capital Casino has the best food, the best service, and the best action. But please always remember to gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Sactown Sports 1140.
Live and local, it's the Drive Guys. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sactown Sports app.
Alan Stiles has some information for us on Keegan Murray. Although Drapes may have kind of tipped his hand on this, huh?
He did, because Drapes came on at 3, and apparently this came out around 2:15. So we were in the throes of it.
Yeah.
And basically, Keegan Murray, Sacramento Kings is from the Kings. Sacramento Kings forward Keegan Murray underwent an MRI after exiting the game with 3:23 remaining in the first quarter of the game Wednesday night versus the Rockets. Imaging revealed a mild left ankle sprain. Do the math there, Whitey. Murray will be listed as out and will be reevaluated in 2 weeks.
That's how long it takes a sprained ankle to heal. I know there's different grades, but that's he turned his ankle. Basketball players do that, and that's how long he's going to be out. But that tells me that the plan, at least for now, is for him to come back and play.
Well, they're going to say that and reevaluate it. Of course they're going to say that. So that's the 13th, okay?
Mm-hmm.
That's the 13th.
I bet you he plays again.
He probably will. But he, in theory, comes back the 13th. They play the Clippers on the 14th, and you'd have about 15 games.
Yeah, I'm not seeing the upside to sitting him, and I think you are, and I think Matt George is. So, but to me, it's like 15 games to see Keegan. Yeah, the only thing that really would make sense to me is if you felt like, well, we have a better chance to lose more games if he doesn't play.
Yeah.
Other than that, I want to see him play, especially because he hasn't played that much this year.
I would say this, though, Whitey. Let's look at this from a health perspective. I can't even keep up with the different injuries that Keegan has had.
Yeah, but he turned his ankle. He's a basketball player. That happens all the time.
Did he turn his ankle because of what? Because of his laboring
he turned his ankle
back.
because he landed on Kevin Durant's foot.
He's laboring on his back, and I got to go through this list because the neck bone connected to the hip bone. And I don't know. I'm clearing it out.
He jumped up in the air. He was coming down. His foot landed on Kevin Durant's foot. His ankle got twisted. It happens. It hurts. He's a basketball player. 2 weeks. We'll see you then.
Hold on. So.
But earlier this year he hurt his shoulder. That has nothing to do with it.
Actually, hold on here. He had the thumb. So yeah, the thumb is not connected to anything.
Right.
But he's had multiple ankle sprains. Okay.
Yeah.
Multiple ankle sprains.
Yeah.
So,
But it's not like he was just standing there during pregame warmups. My ankle went out. No, he landed on somebody's foot.
I'm just saying. It's been.
What are you saying?
Sometimes
you're just saying what?
There's some bad luck involved too.
Yes.
Okay. There's some bad luck involved too, and I don't like what I'm seeing from Keegan from a health luck perspective. I don't like that.
If you shut guys down every time they turn their ankles, like 7 guys in the NBA.
If that was the first thing, sure. But, okay, you had the thumb.
Help me out, Jay. He turned his ankle. He's got to play, right?
Here you go.
Gotta play.
He returned for 19 of the next. This is from SactownSports.com. You should have checked that out.
Okay.
He returned for 19 of the next 21 games before suffering that previous ankle sprain.
Yeah.
Basketball.
It happens.
Look, he need to call up. He's just down the road. Whatever type of platinum, Armatron, what is it? The ankle braces that Steph Curry wears. He needs to call him up, and he needs to grab some of those bad boys.
I don't think so.
I think he does. You know, ever heard of Chronic our third baseman? He was also our 3-day starter. He got drafted to the Phillies.
You've told us that tainted program?
Yeah.
No. Well, no. This guy was a senior. Well, which one?
Well, yeah, I forgot. Both of them are tainted.
This is a different third baseman. This was my junior year. He had chronic ankle sprains. Chronic ankle sprains.
Playing baseball?
Chronic ankle sprains, yes.
Yeah. It's harder.
You don't want to mess with that.
It's harder to sprain your ankle playing baseball. It's not impossible, but it's harder in baseball than in basketball.
First base, Jay, the wrong way.
That's true.
Oh, I know.
You know, you want
that jolt up your leg. Been there.
You want Keegan to have chronic ankle sprains?
No, but whether he's going to suffer another ankle sprain in the future or not, sitting him down now has no bearing on that, other than, obviously, well, if he's not playing, he can't sprain his ankle. But it's not like, otherwise, boy, you're going to have to take that sucker off if he has another ankle sprain. That's not what we're talking about, Alan.
I know, my heart of hearts, that my beloved text line will be on my side here, 916-339-1140. We should shut Keegan down, let him, hey, Jay, let him focus on his mentals and his chickens. That's what he needs, just like Marshawn
You're saying
said.
shut him down for health reasons?
Everything. Just you know, back when I was in the tech world, we used to have just not mental health days, but kind of, where we just get a random Friday off. Right,
You
just
would
a
get it off,
reset.
or you would take it
No,
off?
we would get it, and then as the company didn't do as well, it turned into no meetings on Friday, and then the next year it was just a normal Friday.
Yeah.
So Keegan, look, man, you can hit me up
For your mental health, we
That's
are
right.
letting you keep your job.
Enjoy your wedding. Enjoy your marriage. You know, you're newlywed. I'll take you out where you want to go. You're buying, but I'll take you out anywhere you want to go. DeMar was doing that dinner with DeMar thing. The three of us go out, and we'll get you through the season. We'll get your body right, get your chickens right. That's what it is, Whitey. He doesn't need to be out there.
On the text line, 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. My friend lived on that waterway when Marine World was in Redwood City. Oh, it was great. Yeah, because that was one of the rides. You get on the boat, and then you go on the safari all the way around the park.
And they had animals?
Yeah.
Exotic animals?
Yeah. And you heard the story about former Warrior Clifford Ray there.
No.
You never heard that story?
No.
One of the dolphins at Marine World in Redwood City swallowed a metal bolt. And they had to get it out because it's very dangerous for the thing. And they couldn't get it out. And you don't want to cut it open. So they're like, we need somebody with a long arm. And one of the guys there's like, I know somebody. And I guess he calls up his buddy, his neighbor, used to play for the Warriors, named Clifford Ray, who was 6'9", and they bring him in like, hey, could you reach in and get the thing out? He's like, yeah. And he did. And he reached. Wow. They even wrote a book about it. They got Clifford Ray from the Warriors to reach into the Dolphins' gullet. Like, oh, okay, I got it. Thank you. You saved the Dolphins.
That's phenomenal. But they got rounded teeth, so it's safe. They all got sharp teeth.
Dolphins.
You ever see a dolphin's teeth? They look
pretty
rounded.
sharp teeth.
You know
They're
when
not
you draw teeth, they rounded.
Huh?
They're
Okay.
not sharp.
Well, okay. A lot of positives here from the 916. Precious and Plowden are two solid role players for sure. Cardwell also, pardon me. Rookies look really good. They should get someone pretty good in the draft also. If Keegan can get back some consistency on offense, Carter can learn to shoot, could have a pretty good young core, and at least be a much improved team next year. Yeah. There are a lot of positives this year. I've been hearing talk about how they haven't developed anybody. They're not developing anything.
Well,
they have a lot of young players that look like they could be contributors or who are contributors on the roster right now who weren't even on the team last year.
These Dolphins' teeth are sharper than I thought.
Yeah, thank you.
They are sharper than I thought.
You know, my daughter's a marine biologist.
That's
you know
true.
That. Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
Hey, does she have a salamander? I'll take another pet salamander.
No, she doesn't.
Okay.
She doesn't.
I just had to check.
Yeah.
I'll disagree with, I'm not even really disagreeing with the 916, but the idea, yeah.
What are you disagreeing with?
Do the rookies, somebody said that Maxime Reynaud looks like the best rookie big, and then I wondered, well, who are the other rookie bigs don't really get drafted. I guess Derek Queen is the obvious one, but outside of that, there's not a ton. The rookies.
What about Yannick Conan? Oh, what's his last name? The guy on the Clippers. Sorry, go ahead.
Well, if you got to ask, then everybody knows Maxime Reynaud. Mm-hmm. Even though a lot of people still saying Reynaud. We're still doing that.
Niederhauser. Yannick Conan Niederhauser.
Okay. No, not Maxime.
Right.
Not Mr. Baguette.
Mm-hmm.
He's in his baguette. I know you had his dad reach out to you.
Right.
The rookies look really good. I don't know. They do. I'm still torn on what to do with it.
They look really good, but none of them is like going to turn your franchise around.
Yeah, and they wouldn't, right? More often than not, the end of the first round, a second rounder, and an undrafted guy, those guys aren't going to turn your franchise around.
Yeah, but you are rebuilding your roster with younger players. Just these huge contracts with the older players still in the way. From the 916, just a thought about winning. We have young players and a young coach. Any wins along the way with the young players are worth it. I would like to embrace that and believe that and hold it close to my bosom, but I just know if you end up with the third worst record and you end up picking 8th, that's going to suck.
8th would be brutal.
Right.
Brutal.
Right. That's why I want the worst record, and I want no worse than the 5th pick.
Yeah. And again, some people get caught up on, well, that doesn't mean you're going to get the first pick. It's more about where your floor is versus your ceiling.
Yes. Yeah. I don't even know if you're the third worst. Could you pick 8th? I'm not even sure where you are.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah. I just ran it.
Yeah.
I just ran it. You're not going to believe this. Sacramento, 5. Memphis, 4. They jump up 4. Utah, 3. They jump up 3. Washington, 2. They jump up 2. I'm not even kidding you, Whitey. I'll show you my screen. Dallas jumped up 6.
That's the downside. If things don't work out for the Kings and someone leapfrogs you, which via the math is certainly possible, then a lot of fans are going to say, why did you lose all these games for nothing?
But what is the other side of that? I just ran it again. Memphis jumped up 7, and the Kings are still at 5.
You just have to do what gives you the best shot.
Yeah,
that's the only thing that makes sense.
But again, I understand you're going back and forth arguing when it's Russ and DeMar, but going back and saying, oh, they should have won more games. Did we watch the season, the first 3 months? Coming by wins, it was not very easy, and I don't necessarily know if it matters if the Kings won more games against other bad teams that are also tanking and they just didn't tank as well. I don't know if that's really building anything. Well, are the Kings rookies going to be better off because they won 5-6 more games against other guys that are rookies and G Leaguers?
Mm-hmm. Beam Team LTB says, crazy to say we aren't developing any players with how much Max has already grown. Raider Ted says, the only thing we're developing is a migraine and irritable bowels watching this team play. So kind of two sides of that coin.
Yeah.
So 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. Gary's been holding. Hey, Gary, you're on the drive, guys. Happy Friday. How are you?
Pretty good. Hey, I've got a comment and a question.
Yes.
My comment is that when Keegan came back from his latest injury, I heard him say in an interview where he said he was not going to be 100% for the rest of the season. So I'm with Alan. I don't see the point of him playing any further. But my comment is I was very intrigued for the very short period of time. I think it was only a few games when Sabonis came back. And Christie actually put Sabonis in like a power forward position with Cardwell and with Max. And I thought they did really well there. I was really hoping that he would continue to be okay, and then Keegan would come back and we could see Keegan at the 3 with Sabonis at the 4 and rotating the big guys. But unfortunately, we didn't get to see that. What did you think? What do you guys think about that for the future, assuming we keep Sabonis?
Thank you, Gary. Since you like Alan so much and you agree with Alan, I'll let Alan answer.
Yeah, well, to the first note about Keegan not being 100%, I understand what Gary is saying. I think a lot of players would say I'm not 100%, and it just kind of depends on how they word it. But I'm with you, Gary. You know how I feel. I would shut him down. With the Sabonis thing, we saw him with both. It's kind of confusing because I think offensively it makes more sense with Maxime, but obviously Dylan Cardwell helps on the defensive side. I think my fear, maybe it'll look better once Dylan is better with kind of the spatial awareness, because there were moments where offensively it just did not look great. Now, Dylan is somebody that Domantas Sabonis does need defensively, but because Domantas Sabonis isn't really shooting the three ball and doesn't really stretch the floor, because basically you're looking at, I don't know, some version of those guys switching depending on who's on the floor for the other team and 4 or 5. If there's a more offensive forward person, Dylan Cardwell would be on him, and vice versa. So I do like what we've seen. Maxime and Domantas Sabonis, I'm not trying to harp on it again, but with neither of those guys shooting threes, and Maxime is going to get better defensively, I'm sure, but with neither of those guys stretching the floor, you can't give that up defensively if offensively you're not getting that back about 2x.
Yeah, I'm with you, Gary. That was one of the more interesting things we've seen all year is the combinations of bigs, and I think there were different combinations in there. I will say if you're running the offense through Domas, even if he's not shooting a lot of threes, you could go high-low. There's certainly promise there, and we just, again, one of the things that has made Coach Christie's job so difficult. It's like, well, how did it work? It was working okay, and then people start getting hurt. We just couldn't keep doing it.
Yeah, and
I think it's very interesting.
Well, I think a good example of that is, I'm on record here. A couple of us are on record here talking about Alperen Şengün and the idea, hey, he's shooting the three ball now. The reality is, and they were doing the double bigs when they had Steven Adams healthy, right? Şengün shooting 29.5% from three. So
how many is he shooting a game? Does it say there?
Yeah, he is shooting. He's shooting 1.9 a game, so essentially 2.
Mm-hmm.
So the idea that, you can only pull it off because somebody's stretching the floor, and I'm saying this to myself as I'm looking this stuff up, maybe it's a little bit overstated. It's just a matter of spacing is not just shooting threes. If you have the right pieces in there, whether it's Doug or an offensive coordinator, whatever it is, to make it work, you can do it. And, the Rockets with KD, they have the ultimate bucket when they need it. So you don't need a guy to be Lauri Markkanen per se, but you need them to at least understand the spatial awareness, which I don't know that Dylan Cardwell, I think Maxime was way ahead of Dylan Cardwell in that regard, but Dylan Cardwell defensively helps out a ton if you're going to run Sabonis out there.
Max could be a player that plays facing the basket at a high post, but I thought of you last night. I believe he had a corner three, and he started to pull the trigger and
He keeps doing that.
Yeah, he doesn't have a lot of confidence in the NBA three.
He keeps doing that.
It doesn't look good.
He needs to go talk to.
When I say doesn't look good, I mean I think he's smart to pass it up.
Just get him up.
Yeah.
Get him up. He needs to talk to Killian Hayes because he ain't scared. That's who he needs to talk to. Because
Maybe
Russ.
it's the other way around.
No, Russ is saying, hey, shoot that thing, man. Just shoot it. Who cares? There's no Sabonis. There's no Dylan Cardwell. This is where you work on things.
Mm-hmm.
This is where you do it.
Yeah. You can also work on things in practice.
But he's in the flow. I'm not saying force it.
Mm-hmm.
You're in the flow. Then why are you out there? Well, why are you on the perimeter? Just get back in there.
Mm-hmm.
Because nobody's pumping.
So he's working on other things. He's building up to that.
But when
Maxime.
he's pump faking, don't do that. Nobody's doing anything.
I
might
think
as well put it
it
up.
can actually hurt you. It can impede your development when you're like, I shouldn't do this. Oh, I did it anyway. And then you have the negative feedback.
No.
Yeah. He's
Then
better
he
off
stopped
not shooting
Devin
those.
Carter. Then Devin shouldn't shoot either, based on that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he's got to.
Yeah. He's more willing. He's
Well,
very willing.
He has to. He doesn't have a choice.
Right. Pro basketball players need to win. If they lose a lot, they become okay with it. So win every game you can. We also have, there's no transcendent players in this draft. Why not pray for a solid pick 1 through 7. There are, according to all the experts, nobody knows for sure. But did you hear Tony Jones? He said you got 4 guys. I don't know. Going to be all-stars. Multiple all-stars.
And I don't even necessarily believe that, but I know there's going to be a couple.
I know you don't, and we have a bet on that.
I know they're going to be a couple.
Uh-huh.
What was the bet?
The bet is that the top 3 are all going to be multiple-time all-stars.
And I said no.
You did.
Yeah.
You were talking about Boozer.
I'm holding on to that. Well, it'd be one of them. There's one whammy, and I'm going to go to the bank with whatever that whammy is.
So that's the point. And again, I know these things don't always work out the way they're expected to. And if the Kings do pick somebody number 1, whoever it is, and they don't pan out, they don't know what they're doing. But you just have to take advantage of the best odds available to you. You have to.
Especially with, and I know Tony Jones said that it might not be as tough as we may have initially imagined with these rules coming down, but we don't know right now. And we're learning how hard it is to get these L's because so many things can change, injuries, things like that. Not just injuries to your team, injuries to other teams. So while you're here, you got to do it. And I've referenced the Raiders before. The Raiders thought, we're already here. We can't afford to mess this up because Max Crosby wants to get a sack in a game that ultimately doesn't matter. If we weren't already here, it'd be a better argument. If we're arguing between 4 and 5, okay, but we're already here at the bottom.
Yeah. We'll get back to the Kings bottom of the hour, but I got to ask, especially Jay something, Jay, my fellow 49er booster. I know you're a Raider guy, Alan, so you excited about the Combine?
Oh, no. Come on. I'm a big Combine guy.
Really?
I love the Combine.
Okay.
I love it.
All right. I don't know, Jay, is this GM speak or is this what we want the GM saying? He's talking about Tuesday, the offensive line. John Lynch. There's always a lot of pundits, but I don't know. I think they played pretty well. Seattle challenged everyone with their defensive front. So that's John Lynch talking about how much he likes the offensive line. And he says, we may have to do some at left tackle. The 49ers, as you may know, their rushing offense ranked 3rd worst at 3.8 yards per carry. And that's offensive line that we're going to say, I thought they did pretty well last year. If that's true, if it was the offensive line, then whose fault was it that they only ran 3.8 yards per carry? My fear, Jay, is that this is another example of that 49er arrogance, where you have a problem staring you right in the face, Alan, and instead of doing something about it, you're like, I thought they were pretty good. We'll be fine.
That's my biggest thing with the Niners. They acting like they got them Lombardis these last couple of years. They didn't get them. I said if they stopped acting like that, they probably actually get one.
Kyle Shanahan on Jake Brendel. I think he's one of the best centers in this league.
Okay. I don't want to be disrespectful, but I was going to say the Indoor Football League or USFL.
I don't think Jake nearly gets enough credit for just how good of a football player he is. Every year we study free agents, and I've always been happy with the center we have.
Whitey,
you feel my pain, don't you?
I do, man. Let me say this, and I was going to joke about the Raiders and Allen liking the Combine, but the fact of the matter is you've brought down the spirit of this show already. just this fast. I'll say this. If there's anyone on the line that we don't replace, is Pooney, right? He's the right guard. You probably would say McKivitz on the right side. Those two are probably the best linemen you have if Trent Williams doesn't come back. That means center, left guard, and left tackle need to be addressed. And you're up here in front of the scrum, the media, letting Raider fans feel good about the fact that you're talking well about a terrible offensive line. You're giving people opportunity to pick you apart. The arrogance is out the door. It is so big that it's out of Santa Clara's arena.
Yeah.
They're crazy if they think their O-line is anywhere near good.
Do you remember early in the year on the station, it was before, I forget which game it was. It might have been the Rams game. But Matt Mayoko was doing an interview with John Lynch, which we played on the station on the pregame. It's like, the running game hasn't gotten going. John Lynch said, we have different guys at wide receiver, and they're not blocking. Come on.
I'm telling you, man.
That's why they couldn't run the ball because of the wide receivers?
They don't make mistakes. And they look at their track record, to be fair, of being in the postseason, being in the playoffs, and that means everything is good with them. That's how they treat it, at least. You know what that is, Whitey? Whenever there's a new actor, somebody like that. I know my mom isn't the only one. She was listening earlier because when I said, damn, she said, hey, I thought you were going to cut that out. So I know she was listening earlier. I don't know if she's still listening now. But, every time there's a new actor.
I think I said that, too. I apologize to Alan's mom.
Jay, it could be Michael B. Jordan. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter who it is. My mom, I don't really see it, Alan. I think you're just as handsome, Alan. I think you're just as handsome.
That's moms being mom.
It doesn't matter who it is. That's the Niners. I think you're handsome. Okay. Thank you, Mom. But, this is Michael B. Jordan we're talking about here.
No, I'd be willing to say that's fine. They can say what they want as long as they do something about it.
Yeah.
But they don't do anything about it.
They don't have to.
Excuses. They do. Seattle's line, Houston's line, Cleveland's line, Chicago's line. Those, just off the top of my head, absolutely kicked the tail. And I won't cuss because Mrs. Styles is listening.
Yeah, you're right. It wasn't just Seattle.
Yeah. The tail of the 49ers.
When we come back. Who is the Kings' MIP most interesting player? Next on Sactown Sports.
Download the Sactown Sports app.
Sacramento sports in your pocket. This is Sactown Sports 1140.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Elk Grove Honda.
I'm Dirk Verdorn in the KCRA3 Weather Center. Mostly cloudy tonight with light winds and temperatures dropping off into the 50s. We will see some clearing for your Saturday morning with some patchy fog, then mostly cloudy skies and daytime highs in the mid to upper 70s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA3 News and the KCRA3 app.
At Elk Grove Honda, you can drive a 2025 Accord Hybrid Sport and enjoy a tradition begun with the first Accord in 1976. Ask about the least you can do. We're Elk Grove Honda in the Elk Grove Auto Mall, Highway 99 at Elk Grove Boulevard.
I gotta get an Elk Grove Honda.
A's fans, the 2026 season is coming fast, and single game tickets are on sale now. Be there for an exciting season packed with theme days, giveaways, and firework nights, including bobbleheads, jerseys, hats, and much more. And getting in is easier than ever. Tickets start at just $8 for select April and May games. From opening day to unforgettable summer nights, there's something for everyone at the ballpark. Get your tickets today at athletics.com/tickets and be part of the excitement this 2026 season.
Planet Fitness has everything you need anytime the motivation hits, so you can give everything you've got. With most clubs open 24 hours, you've got access to our best-in-class equipment to tackle early morning reps, late night miles, and every workout in between. Join the club today and save $28 or more when you join for just $1 down, $15 a month. Cancel anytime. Deal ends February 27th. You ready? Planet Fitness. We're all strong on this planet. See club for details.
Confidence is knowing you're ready to handle whatever comes your way. That's what it feels like to take on your workday with Cintas. They make sure your AEDs are up to date, your fire extinguishers are tested and inspected, your floor mats are cleaned and delivered, and your workwear looks good, feels good, and is freshly laundered with the Cintas Apparel Plus program. So are you ready to take on today? Visit Cintas.com and get ready for the workday.
Jackson Hewitt handles your taxes and your stress. Inhale on no surprise price of $149 or less. Exhale, paying more for complicated taxes. You won't. Inhale, new tax law knowledge. Exhale, missing out on your biggest refund? Certainly not. Don't miss paying $149 or less. Rest easy. Jackson Hewitt's got your taxes. Guaranteed. Limited time offer for new clients on federal returns. Participating locations only. Terms at jacksonhewitt.com/149.
Never have I ever called my sister from the finish line of my first marathon. Hello? You won't believe where I am. Are you running? Mile 26. I'm gonna make it.
Switch to T-Mobile's 55 Plus plan and get iPhone 16e with its advanced camera system on us. Plus, 2 lines for just $30 a line.
Guys, I can't believe it.
I knew you could do it, babe.
That was amazing. Mom, how do you feel? I feel great. I can't feel my feet. Let's take a picture, and then you may carry me to the car.
Share every stride, every mile, every memory on America's best network. Switch to T-Mobile's 55 Plus plan and get iPhone 16e on us and 2 lines for just $30 a line.
With 24 monthly bill credits and 2 eligible port-ins on Essentials 55 Plus for well-qualified customers with autopay plus taxes, fees, and $35 device connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Contact us. Finance agreement 128 gigabytes, $599.99 required. Best mobile network in the U.S. based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence data 1H 2025. Visit T-Mobile.com.
Paramount Pictures and Spyglass Media Group present Scream 7. When a new Ghostface killer emerges in the quiet town where Sidney Prescott has built a new life, her darkest fears are realized as her daughter becomes the next target. Determined to protect her family, Sidney must face the horrors of her past to put an end to the bloodshed once and for all. Starring Neve Campbell, Isabel May, Jasmine Savoy Brown, Mason Gooding, with Matthew Lillard, Joel McHale, and Courtney Cox. In theaters February 27th.
Your home for Kings basketball for over 25 seasons.
Sactown Sports.
All right, Alan Stiles. What are you going to be watching this weekend?
I got to double check the.
Besides the combine.
Well, I was going to double check.
Boring.
College basketball. And
blah, 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 blah.
Everything was blah, blah.
But it all looks so blah. Blah, 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 blah.
That's the combine now.
Yeah.
I can't believe you sit around and watch that.
I love it, man. I love it.
A lot of people do.
I'll watch the 40s all day. Oh. The quarterbacks. Oh my goodness! And if you don't participate in the combine, that's a notch down for me.
Everybody, this is on camera. They can hear you.
Bryce Young was standing there in a backpack. Come on, I can't take you. I can't take you. I need you at the combine. Mm-hmm. I need you. That's what competitors do. That's why I need you at the combine.
How are you fitting in watching the combine and golf this weekend?
That's why I got a lot going on this weekend. Okay, I got to wake up tomorrow, play golf.
I do too.
I got to wake up tomorrow at 6-ish to play golf with Matt George, Jason Ross, Chris Watkins.
Wow. Dream foursome.
Yeah. I mean, Matt.
You're getting up at 6 to waste your time with that bunch?
I'm the reason that we're waking up so early because, I told him, Jay, Matt was trying to do a tee time at 12:45 p.m.
What?
I'm like, brother, we're going to be done at 6, 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
I can't just be away from the bam that for no reason.
But you got a combine to watch.
I got a combine to watch, but I don't even get to watch that. My mom wants to do a crab feed, so I got to go out to Concord tomorrow, and I don't know what's on the menu.
Sound happy about that.
Well, I don't know what's on the menu.
Sound happy about that, man. Crab. What do you mean?
I need to ask her.
Garlic noodles.
What else? We got garlic noodles.
Shrimp.
But I got to load up the kids. It's just a lot, man.
Oh, man. Sound better, brother. Living is the weekend.
Yeah.
Come on.
But that Saturday's fried. So then it's Sunday. Now it's Sunday Scaries. I'm already thinking about the show. The weekend's over already before it started.
Man, could you be a little more positive?
And
sir?
I like when if I'm gonna be out there, and I don't know if my mom's still listening, I prefer when you send a menu, so I can see what's on the menu, so I can get my taste buds ready.
Crab.
Crab's
on the menu.
Well, what is the supporting? Who are the supporting actors? I need to know. Do I need to eat lunch before? Do we gotta feed obviously the kiddo's not eating it. Right. Come on, Mom. Yeah. I need the menu.
It sounds like that's going to weigh heavily on your mind when you're trying to play golf.
Last time I played, a lot of par opportunities. So I got to put it together because there's nothing worse than being the anchor. I can't be the anchor tomorrow. I got to come correct. Mm-hmm. And it's Matt George. He invited us. So I got to show up tomorrow. It's a big day.
You better not be dead last.
I won't.
Let me tell you that.
I can't do that.
You dead last in that foursome, brother. That speaks volumes.
Well, I'm thinking Jason is the betting favorite, right? So it's the rest of. I don't know how Matt plays. I played with Chris a number of times. I don't know how Matt plays.
I didn't even know C-Dub swings it.
Yeah. We've been a couple times. We've been a couple times.
What you swing, man?
What do you mean?
Club what? Oh, Lord, never mind.
I got it. What do you
What
mean?
you swing? Brand. Like, I mean, I don't play golf, and even I know what that means.
No, I mean, I got, it's kind of a hodgepodge. I got some still from my starter set.
Really?
I got.
We're down the road.
I got some pings in there. It's a mix.
So you got a Frankenstein set?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
What's the driver?
The driver.
What do you play? I play like a hodgepodge 7.
Yeah. No, the driver. So I have a couple drivers.
Okay.
Because I shaved one down to get more control on it. I saw somebody do this on YouTube.
What you shave down? What?
The handle. So it's a shorter handle.
Oh, okay.
And a lot of control there.
Yeah.
It's like,
choking up.
Choking up a little bit.
Yeah.
So I like what I've been doing with that. But that driver's actually that driver's actually about 10 years old. I have a brand new one, but I wanted to see if I wanted to shave that one. So I kind of have the brand new one. That one just kind of sits in there. Mm-hmm.
What'd you putt with?
I got 2 putters as well.
Sounds like it doesn't matter.
Because, I'll go Texas wedge on you. But if I'm more delicate, depends on the greens. If it's a faster green, then I use my lighter putter. If it's a slower green, I use a heavier putter. So I got 2 different putters, too.
Okay. Well, good luck tomorrow.
I'm going to ball out. I'll tell you that much. It's a ping driver. I got a ping driver, Jay.
Okay.
And I got you, Jay. Don't worry.
I was just trying to see if we had to put you in the motion for some Kirklands or something.
No, I'm good now.
Okay.
Don't worry. I'm on Monday. I'm gonna tell y'all crosstalk. I'm gonna tell them what it was.
We got to get you out to Hagenos. Is golf to go tonight?
Let me check for you, Mr. Gleason.
That's where I'm going. That's where we're going tomorrow.
Yeah, you got
you going to Hagen?
Yeah,
you got to get you fitted for your clubs.
I know.
Yeah, I mean, you're wasting your time till you do that to a degree.
I don't even. Skip in Elk Grove. Skip says hodgepodge. Are you kidding me? Shaking my head. This is what's so funny because part of me, Skip, if you've hopped in before, but I'm pretty good with names.
Skip goes way back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Skip. So for Skip to text in, I'm really ticked off Skip. I'm sorry, Skip. I'm sorry. I got some hybrids in there. Skip, don't worry. I'm going to show out for the afternoon show.
Playing with Matt George, you might not make the crab feed. Matt George plays golf like he's trying to change the whole location.
And he wanted...
What does that mean? Like it's slow, terrible, bad?
I think it means he's hitting the ball.
Oh, God.
And he wanted to tee off at 12:45.
Yeah, I know. I'm with you on that. I'm with you.
I said, go tell that to Carmichael
I'm with
Davis.
Skip on the hodgepodge, but I'm with you on the late start.
The hodgepodge, look, I'm
Saturday.
going to get some lessons. I'm going to get a real legit set at some point. I'm not going to go in there and spend, a bunch of money until I feel like I'm good there.
Uh-huh.
And I'm working on some things.
Okay.
What you working on? I'm interested now. Okay, what are you working on?
Yeah, we're working on, free, not free, but some lessons, right? I'm working with the sales team downstairs. I'm going to get some lessons. What we're going to do, it's going to be a whole event. It's going to be like a series, if you will. So we're working on that.
Okay.
And then at the end of the series, then I might go get an adult bag of clubs.
There's a guy who's a great teacher who listens to this show who probably would work. I can't speak for him, but isn't that kind of what he does, Jay, when he hears about, especially somebody in the media that's struggling
I know who you're talking
with
about.
the hodgepodge?
I know who you're talking about, and I think I'm not sure if I missed the window or not.
Okay.
So I got to check back in because I was told, hey, here's his number.
Yeah, I can't speak for him, obviously.
Here's his number, do it.
Right.
And then I blinked, and it was a year.
Oh,
well,
dang,
maybe
big timed him.
No, he didn't know.
Yeah.
No, he didn't know I was supposed to reach out. But the person that gave me the number knew.
Mm-hmm.
But I still gonna do that. I need different help because the bones are there.
You got a hole in one yet?
No. What type of question is that? Like it's something that normally happens.
You have
a hole in one?
Of course.
A hole in one.
Yes.
You got video?
No, I don't videotape everything I do. I know some people do.
I
know
can't
one guy
stand
that
those.
does.
I can't stand those people. Actually,
Video carrying around video is only like 10 years old, Alan. You can't go back to even 98 and find that.
Well, then when was the hole in one? Then that's a good question.
1990 something.
See, there you go.
Oh yeah. See, so was
99?
mine. So was mine.
Yeah.
Yep.
It was Yeah.
You knew it? You knew it had a chance?
No, because you could see the pin, but you couldn't see the hole. And I knew, I thought I scolded a little bit, but I hit it straight. And I was like, where's the ball? Where's the ball? Maybe it's in the hole. Nah, it is. It's in the hole.
You kept the ball?
I did, but I'm not sure. There's a golf ball that I have now. I think that might be the hole in one. I don't know.
Wow.
Sell it.
Wow.
Sign it. This is the thing. Were there people that were there?
Yeah, there was two. I was playing with two people.
There it was.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because that's what you need.
Yeah.
Now, I might get one tomorrow.
I'm sure you will.
I got a good feeling about
with
this.
That Frankenstein.
With the Frankenstein. With the ping. One ping. A couple. Give
me the hodgepodge 9.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm feeling good about tomorrow.
I know we got a break here. I don't know why I was thinking this. Maybe I was watching golf. I was thinking that you would be a guy who gets stuck between clubs in your head like constantly. Like 7 or 8.
Yeah.
And then even all the way through, you're striking the ball and you're still in your mind going, I should have hit the other club.
Or I get in my mind as soon as you stink, you suck, why are you playing? And then I just and then it just hooks. Or I go, but what if I go soft 7 or firm 8?
Now that I can see.
Yeah.
Yes.
Alan, can you please just tee off, man?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When we come back, the most interesting player in the Kings. And you two can go from college reject to major league prospect, but you're going to have to eat a lot of raw eggs. This story is coming up on Sactown Sports.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Out of Keegan, going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it. Keegan, can he do it? Yes, there's number 11, Keegan Murray. Keegan steps back. He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points.
Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with Sactown Sports and the Sactown Sports app.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Elk Grove Honda.
I'm Dirk Fedorn in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. Mostly cloudy tonight with light winds and temperatures dropping off into the 50s. We will see some clearing for your Saturday morning with some patchy fog, then mostly cloudy skies and daytime highs in the mid to upper 70s. Get the latest forecasts on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
At Elk Grove Honda, you can drive a 2025 Accord Hybrid Sport and enjoy a tradition begun with the first Accord in 1976. Ask about the least you can do. We're Elk Grove Honda in the Elk Grove Auto Mall, Highway 99 at Elk Grove Boulevard.
I gotta get an Elk Grove Honda.
At InShape, we have a place for every kind of mover. The Sometimer, the early riser, the after-work grinder, the yogi, lifter, bodybuilder, walker, runner, swimmer, spinner, stretcher, rower, climber, jumper, dancer, boxer, sauna seeker, recoverer. Basically, if you walk, lift, stretch, or sweat, you belong at InShape. So whether it's your first time or your first time in a while, start the year strong and join today at InShape.com. Find a location nearest to you.
This is the sound of Jack buzz cutting his way to a small fortune. To Jack, every time he cuts his own hair, that's $50 right in his pocket. If Jack sees DIY buzz cuts as a saving strategy, Wells Fargo is right behind him. And with their mobile app, tracking his savings is easy. Oh, ouch. However you make money work, we can work with that.
Mobile carriers' message and data rates may apply. Wells Fargo Bank, N.A., member FDIC.
Get ready, Sacramento. The Sacramento Boat Show and Big RV Show is taking over Cal Expo, March 5th through March 8th. It's 2 huge shows, one massive event. Don't miss it. Get details now at 2hugeshows.com.
What's up? We're talking to Chad Hoblet of Hoblet Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Woodland. Chad, what's happening for Ram Truck Month?
If you've been looking for the right hard-to-find Ram heavy duty, Hoblet has it, and at the price that works for you. Right now, save up to $12,500 off MSRP on new 2026 Ram 2500s and 3500s. Plus, with over 400 new Rams available, you're going to find what you need at Hoblet.
Heavy duty seem to be a strong point for Hoblet.
Absolutely. We are the only dealer in the area full of truck people. One of the many reasons we are consistently one of the top Ram truck dealers in the nation, and one of the only certified Ram truck centers in the entire country. You won't find a better combination of service and affordability in California.
Search, select, and save through their whole inventory at HobletDodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hoblet, period.
$12,500 total net savings on select new 2026 Ram 2500 Laramie after $3,500 factory rebates and $9,000 dealer discounts. Rebates may include $2,000 select inventory bonus cash on select inventory, $500 on the job upfit. Must show eligible upfit. 5 of this net savings. See dealer for details.
your afternoon home for Kings talk and so much more. The Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
Alan, I know you love your stories.
I do.
What story to this point? Who's the best story on the Kings? Who's the most interesting King, the MIK?
Should we remove Dylan Cardwell?
No, we don't have to.
Well, I'm just thinking he might be the easy answer, but could Dylan Cardwell be getting leapfrogged by Daquan Plowden before it's all said and done?
Maybe. See, I think depending on how you, what you consider most interesting, Devin Carter to me is really interesting. I'm not saying he's the most popular or anything like that. That's a really interesting story to me.
It is. And it's become more interesting. I don't know how interesting Precious is. It is, I don't know, watching him play, I do think it's interesting that maybe he was miscast in a way, or maybe playing with the Knicks, he was put in a box a little bit. We'll see that with, college teams. They'll say, hey, once these guys get to the NBA, they'll get to open things up more. Because I would tell you this much, I think a Knicks fan would watch Precious play now, even against this competition, and would say, I didn't think Precious could do all that offensively.
Yeah. The only thing I can think of with him is that he's a little bit of a tweener and plays as more of a power big, and that teams would need him to, as he's working on now, to his credit, more of an outside shot, and he's playing more, smaller players. That's the only thing I can think of as far as, well, how come he hasn't gotten more opportunities? Because he puts up decent numbers everywhere you go. He plays hard. He fits many of your beloved pillars. So, and he's just really taken advantage of this opportunity. And I know I always say this, but I just, every time I see him play, just about I'm reminded of the fact that he was a 20th pick in that draft, and one of his teammates went second in James Wiseman in that same draft.
Yeah. Yeah, Whitey, going back to 2021, 2022 with the Raptors, he shot 35.9 from three, and he was taking 2.1 a game.
Yeah,
2.1. Then after that, he took two the next season at 26% and just completely fell off a cliff. But even here, just on Basketball Reference, they have him listed as a center. But I don't think that's clearly not right. But it's just funny because has him at power forward his rookie year, then center. And then when he's with the Knicks, it says power forward for the first season, then goes back to center. But clearly he's not been a center for the Kings. I mean, at times, sure.
Do you think Kings fans have gotten over the emotional bruise that we all felt when Isaac Jones went his merry way? You remember how difficult that was?
That was very difficult for me.
Was it?
Very difficult.
Oh, yeah, because you had him on.
Oh, my goodness. I had him on a couple times. We had him on the show at least 3 times. So that was difficult for me. But, it is what it is. And now we kind of have the quote-unquote Isaac Jones rule or Eric Paschall rule, however you want to use it, where clearly there's a difference between Precious and Isaac Jones. I think I was healed from the Precious Isaac Jones thing when I realized that Precious wasn't that much older than Isaac Jones. That's when it made me feel a little bit better. And I wasn't in this crew. I don't know if you were either. And he actually played a couple days ago against the Kings. Were you part of the Isaiah Crawford gang? There was an Isaiah Crawford gang, very niche.
I was neither in nor out on him.
But you saw the crew. There were people upset, and he got picked up, and we watched him at Summer League. We got to talk to him at Summer League. Good length. He's got the rec specs. But yeah, and then when he went to the Rockets, it was a little peculiar because you're thinking, well, you're not gonna play, and he hasn't really.
Yeah, I'm fine with the whole Luka thing as far as watching it. That doesn't bug me.
I know where this is going.
It doesn't bug me. Watching the Spurs is kind of tough right now, but it's kind of nice too to see De'Aaron playing with so much energy and seeing HB contributing. The one that really bothers me, and there's probably some I'm forgetting, but High Flyer just mentioned it a couple days ago. Nimish Keita, watch him, and it's like, you got to be kidding me.
Yeah.
Because there were a lot of signs there. Wherever he played, he was a good defensive player. And when Mike Brown was a coach, the Kings needed more defense. And they just let him go for virtually nothing and brought in JaVale McGee, who came in here, and we had a nice conversation, nothing against him. But that's the one, when I watch him playing the way he plays now for Boston, that's the one I just can't understand.
Well, it's funny that you say that because and I'm not trying to speak for him, but even when High Flyer brought up Neemias Queta, he didn't necessarily sound like how you sound. He basically he kind of sounded, if I'm not mistaken, as if, man, he just couldn't figure it out here.
Yeah.
So I do wonder how people viewed his time in Sacramento.
Yeah. Well, they brought him in. I think he was drafted. I don't think he was under. I think Nimi was drafted. And again, a lot of good signs that he'd be a good defensive center. So, at the very least, it's somebody they gave up on way too soon.
Yeah, 39th overall pick.
Yeah.
In the second round. So fairly high second round pick. And now, again, based on the new aprons and things like that, I don't think teams can afford to give up on guys that quickly because you're looking for cheap contracts.
Mm-hmm.
That's where you're at.
Mm-hmm. Alan, you'd still like to make it to the majors, right?
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
I'm still waiting for a call. That's what I tell people.
Ryan Lambert is a kid who pitched in college. I want to see if I can find out where he pitched. He was cut from his college team. He was a reliever. He'd been cut from his college team, and he decided, this is 2 years ago, he wanted to build muscle and increase his recovery rate. So he went online, and he found out that raw eggs are supposed to be really good for that. So he decided to eat 30 raw eggs per day for a month. He says, day one, it was an adjustment, but I'm not a chicken. I like a little adversity and challenge. It kind of gets me going. And now 23-year-old is a prospect with the Mets, and he's hit the radar gun at 99.6.
I got to buy some eggs tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Sound more than like some grade A's.
He eclipsed 100 miles per hour last year, 100.9 to be exact. And he produced a 1.62 ERA, mostly in AA. And he's a prospect with the Mets after getting cut from his college team and loading up on the raw eggs.
Huh. It says here he was drafted from University of Oklahoma. So I don't know. Maybe
there we go.
I don't know. He went to Missouri State. He went to a JUCO, and he went to University of Oklahoma. So I don't know when he got cut, or maybe he got waived and came back. Is that what it was? He got released, and now he's making another move at it, another go at it.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm getting some eggs
I did
tonight.
not get sick.
Yeah, I would think you would just lose. I would lose like 40 pounds because I'd just be sending everything back up the wrong way after. Yeah.
Why do they have to be raw? Is it just more
I'm
pure?
guessing because of the nutrients that are cooked out.
Can I at least scramble it, blend it?
I don't think so, Alan. It
The
depends.
yolk is
Do you want to be a
separate?
major leaguer or not? You can do whatever you want.
Get him on the show.
You can have omelets if you want, but do you want to be a major leaguer or not?
I got time.
All
Actually,
right.
I'm going to drink 30 before my golf tomorrow.
There you go. Good luck with that.
Would not be good.
Golf to Go is coming up next. Thanks for being with us. Have a great weekend. We're back with you Monday. Stick around for Golf to Go, the game of golf. Next, Sactown Sports.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hurry in and save big during Honda's President's Day sales event at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Hurry in and save on our best selection of new Hondas. Each is priced to sell now. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop for great pricing on a giant selection of new CRVs, HRVs, Civics, and Accords with low finance and lease options. Plus, get an